Porter, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the angle
Of
The dangle?
the couch? Yeah.
Yeah, and
To the left.
Bougie Boar over here is talking about, oh, this is how Rogan does it. It's a podcast. It's not supposed to be flattering. Like, what kind of comeback is that? Podcast isn't supposed to be flattering.
Who are you trying to look flattering for?
You got me all self-conscious about my sweatshirt these days.
Well, it's black. You put it on so it look flattering today.
Like your dad said earlier.
God, my dad.
What'd your dad say? Was that your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was?
He's such a piece of work.
He's a hoot.
I didn't know
He's
that. What's he doing in town?
He moved here.
No way.
Yeah, his neighbor is like a
How's that going?
big hunter from Bend, Oregon. He lives here in the winter. He loves it, by the way. But he just brought his neighbor in. It's pretty legit, like bow hunter back in the day.
Little tip, Porter, move your mic back up after you drink.
But I was drinking.
I know, but
Is
I'm
it-
saying
I
after,
gotta
after
bring it back.
Bring it back.
Was it Chuck Adams? Is that your neighbor?
No.
No.
His name is Gene. Didn't he? He used to know, like.
Dude, he's a huge hunter.
Yeah.
He's huge. I can't believe, like, I did not expect that from a guy just coming in with your dad. Massive hunter.
Did your dad golf?
Yeah.
Shot the national archery team, shot 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, this guy he's killed some shit. Like, he's been all over hunting.
No kidding.
Used to hunt with a bunch of outdoor riders back in the day. Like, was not expecting that. How have we never heard of this guy?
And he's your dad's neighbor.
I mean, my dad talks a lot. He's been talking about him forever,
He does
but
talk
like,
a lot.
you know, it's like, okay, Dad, whatever. And then you talk to him, you're like, oh.
Dude is real. He used to hunt Wyoming all the time back in the day. He's got a couple 30-plus inchers. Like, dude's been hunting.
What was he talking about? Calling blacktails in Oregon?
Rattling.
Rattling.
Blacktails in Oregon. We were talking whitetails, and I was explaining. I'm, like, starting to get very into whitetails. You and I have been having this conversation a couple times. They're just so goddamn aggressive and, like, I don't know. It's pretty cool. It's different. So rattling whitetails, like when I was down in Texas this last year, my first time, like, truly hunting whitetails. And he was saying he does that with blacktails in Oregon. I'm like, damn, sounds pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah, the video I see a guy's bow hunting late whitetail with like a decoy and then rattle from the ground.
So fun.
Yeah.
I want to do that
Me
again
too.
and again and again.
Me
Like, it's
too.
so fun.
Yeah, that would be good.
I did like when I was back in Minnesota, sitting in a stand and watching whitetails just be whitetails.
Oh,
like
look
I could get into that a
That
little
looked like a
bit.
pretty sweet setup you had.
Oh, that heated blind.
Heated
Oof.
blind.
I'm
cup
really-
coffee.
I'm
Yeah.
really into this on the ground, push in super aggressive to bedding areas, set up a decoy and start rattling. Like, that sounds like a
Texas
like fun.
style.
really fun hunt. Texas style, exactly. Shooting bucks at 10 yards.
Well, we have Mr. Christopher Porter,
A very special guest.
special
today.
guest.
Very special guest for a special episode.
Do you know why it's a
You're making
special
me-
episode, Porter?
No, but you're making me feel very special.
It is Big Hunt Guy's 50th episode.
Go ahead and
50.
move that microphone closer to your mouth because we already get a bunch of complaints that our sound sucks.
Really?
Gotta be like a pilot. Gotta
Really?
be like touching your lips.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
How do
guys
I
ever
drink?
watch
That's
pilots
close
fly?
enough.
How do I drink my coffee?
You
can
know,
pull-
You gotta
pull
go
it
like side spill.
no coffee
Okay.
drinking during the podcast.
We can get you a sippy cup if you want.
Do you feel special being on the podcast?
I kind of do feel special. I'm not
We've,
gonna lie.
we've been wanting to have you on for a while,
I
but we
know.
thought 50th.
50th. Bring in the all-star guest.
I love it. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
What do you think about having 50 episodes? Are you surprised?
How fast that happened? Yeah. When did we launch?
February last year.
February of
But
last
we've only
year.
been taking it serious for like a couple months, I
Yeah.
feel like.
Yeah, we started ramping it up after a
Mhm.
few little kinks here and there.
Kind of took a minute, but then we just did it.
Yep.
So
Watching
one-
Porter struggle to drink his
Yeah,
coffee.
if you're listening to the
Fantastic.
podcast, you should jump over to YouTube right now and check out
and
You-
watch him
the
struggle.
video.
Do you hear this? That's my.
You can pull it away for a
You
second.
can like, yeah,
and then-
pull it away,
and then pull it back.
drink,
Okay.
bring
Or
it
if
back.
that was one of those ASMR videos. That's what he thought it was.
Yeah,
People
where
wanted
you just listen to
people
people
wanted to
eat,
hear him drink, hear him eat. And you got a fresh haircut today, it looks like, for the
Yesterday.
podcast.
I
Yes.
will tell you, Porter stays true to his haircut game.
Let's talk about your haircut game.
It's
Well,
every 2 weeks,
And
solid.
it's the beard trim game too.
Is it Ben,
It's
the,
every 2
Ben the
weeks.
Barber still?
Ben the barber. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out.
I don't know what happens, and Porter is a planner. Everyone knows that from the video, from his hunt film. Porter's very known as the planner, and I am the furthest thing from that. And where that shows in our lives is I've been trying to get a haircut. I'm already, I don't know, 4+ weeks out of my last one. And I've been trying for a week and a half to get one, and I just can't figure out when to go. This guy just stays on a strict schedule and figures it out every time.
Like a strict appointment? It's like every 2 weeks? Every week?
3 weeks.
Every 3
Lorenzo's he's an embellisher.
No, I am not an embellisher.
Every 3 weeks
yeah.
it's on the paper.
Every Monday.
That's a little different than my schedule. I get my haircut twice a year.
That's the Brady I know.
You have had a haircut like more recent than 6 weeks though.
No.
It looks kind of fresh.
Before Thanksgiving. It's
Really?
my last one.
Who does Brady's beard trimming?
I was gonna say
Does he do
your
his
beard
own?
looks pretty good. He's got to do
I
it.
do it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
trim my beard myself.
Mhm.
My beard hasn't shagged out over
You get
6
your beard
weeks.
trimmed too?
Just because it's convenient.
Same guy, just same time?
Yeah.
Did they do the full treatment, hot towel,
Yeah.
the whole, come on now.
Yeah, I get the whole hot towel.
No shame.
I mean, it makes me feel a little high maintenance, but it's nice.
I mean, I would do it if I had I don't even know. I just cut my own. But
Yeah.
if I had a
I cut
barber
my own.
in Cedar, I'd do it.
The only thing I struggle with is the like by the ear and neckline. So every
So-
time I get my hair cut, I have him like do that. But then I'm so fucking lazy. It like grows in to where I can't find it again. By the
Mhm.
time I actually get around to doing it, I'm like, God dang it. Now it's sideways again and crooked.
First world problems, I guess.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. For
Porter, you
sure.
had a pretty good season. Just give us a little quick recap.
Give us a rundown of who Porter. Who is Porter for Gohan?
Oh, we do that one first.
I want to know that one first.
Okay.
Let's introduce Porter to the podcast
Yeah.
audience. I mean, people know you, but give
Yeah.
us a rundown.
Well, why don't you give me a
Locally
rundown?
loved and internationally recognized.
It's weird talking about yourself.
Reflexes of a cat.
What
speed
am
of
I
a
to you?
mongoose. You're the head honcho. You're the man.
I
You're
know.
the guy.
Yeah, we've been here a while. I remember when GOHUNT was an idea. So yeah, it's been a minute.
Do you guys remember that like pretty vividly?
Oh,
Yeah.
extremely vivid.
Where did this first conversation happen?
Extremely vivid. I mean, how far do you want to go back? The first time you thought I was fucking nuts is when I was in the back office as an analyst for the gaming company back in a dark, weird part of the office because it wasn't even fully built out. It was like half slot machine area where like the techs would work on new games and all, and I was kind of like back in this corner,
Mm-hmm.
and he'd come back there because we were, roughly same age as far as like professional life goes. Obviously, it's not like college where everyone's the exact same age, but like roughly same age, and we would have lunch, like he was on the marketing team, so
What were you, like late 20s, early 30s?
30?
30?
yeah, it was
30,
a long
you were
time ago.
25?
It was 24.
24, I was
It's
29.
24.
I'm 5 years older than you.
Yeah, 24. And that's when I was, doing over the counter in Arizona all the time. It's when I first came back from
Mhm.
college, and I really was trying to do this shit on my own, like trying to figure out where I'm going hunting, how can I get a tag, where's the opportunity, like digging through proclamations and have all this shit. And he's like, what in the fuck are you doing? I'm like, dude, I know I'm not smart enough to do this, but like this is what it takes.
Yeah.
So I started telling him.
Did you talk to them about hunting before that? Like, were you aware that he was a hunter? That was like a big part of his life? And
Well,
what he
anybody
did?
that knew Lorenzo knew he was a hunter for sure. I was not a hunter at all, but yeah, you knew.
I don't have friends. I don't do social things.
Sure.
Everyone always wonders where I go and what I was doing.
Yeah.
And
He
that's
has
why I was
friends.
like gone.
He's bashful, but
I do not have friends.
You definitely hunting is
I
a
have
big part of you.
acquaintances. Oh.
But I mean, with this whole family too. I mean, you walk into that whole family office. I mean, there would be animals.
Yeah.
His dad's animals, his animals on the wall. I mean, yeah. If you knew him or his family, you knew they were all hunters for sure.
Were you inquisitive about it at all? Like when?
What do you think?
I mean, I know. Porter,
Hold on.
I know.
knowing
Yeah,
Porter.
I do. I know Porter's inquisitive about everything, but like, at what level were you inquisitive? Were you just like, oh, this is kind of weird, just like animals all over the place?
There was one particular time. This is probably 2012 or something. It's kind of what he was just referring to. But I walked by his office and he had magazines laid out, and he was applying for
Paper maps on the wall, all kinds of
Nevada. One of the draws was due. It was like spring or whatever. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, dude. And he was all stressed. He's like, I got 5 points. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, what? You're hunting. Why is it so stressful?
Mm-hmm.
And he's explaining the process and this and that. I'm like, what is that? Oh, it's a forum. It's where you get all the info. I'm like, what do you mean a forum? It looks like it was built in 1970. Like, what?
Which it probably was.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what? It's like, that's where you get the information. Then all these magazines.
Like, that's where you get the information of, like, what not to do and this. And I'm, like, he's like, how does that work? like, well, see what all these people are talking about? Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I need to find something else. So I'm like looking at all this other stuff, Google Earth up, the KML files, all the old school stuff we used to do. You know what I mean? And he was like shocked that there wasn't a place or a thing like a Zillow or you know what I mean? He was shocked.
Did your wheels start turning then at that point?
Oh, yeah. I remember walking out of his office. Not that like, oh, we're going to build GoHunt.
Yeah,
but I remember walking out going,
you know how he is when he wants to understand something. He just peppers and peppers. And so it was just constant like, well, what do you do this? What about that? What about that? And I just kept explaining like what I was doing. And he could not believe there wasn't anything. So like organically that kind of grew into something, obviously. But it still wasn't like a thought of we're going to build something.
So at what point between, I'm curious because I've never had the two of you together like this that I'm sure I have, but like at what point did you guys go, we got something, like there's something here?
Well, there was one like major that I remember step to like how serious this was all getting, me and hunting, and like what kind of projected this into more of a serious conversation.
Everybody porter
drinks coffee.
Sorry. Well, that and this camera angle, I keep looking at Bougie Boy. There's got to be a different.
No, man, you're closest to the camera. You're going to look great.
Yeah,
No, it's
you're gonna look
just,
phenomenal, Porter.
there's got to be a better way over here. But he just fights me on this.
But we were playing golf at TPC Las Vegas. We were on the par 3, and I'm like, him and I were talking. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm going to move to Dixon, California, and go work for KUIU. That's when I was talking to Jason quite a bit, and he was going to, at the time, you know, this was a long time ago, but he was thinking about spinning off his backpack, Icon backpacks, and do like a thing of its own, you know, with this carbon fiber frames, and get into, you know, military and firefighting, all this stuff. And we were talking, like, yeah, man, I'm going to move to Dixon and go. And he's like, you're insane. Like, this is not smart. Don't do it. You know what I mean? Like, my life here in Vegas, the opportunity, what both of us had in Vegas at the time. And he's like, you're nuts. Well, then it started getting like more serious conversation from there, because I think he was like almost trying to, he's a very caring person. So I think he was almost trying to solve for my stupidity. Like, no, you can't do it. Like, there's got to be something else, you know? And that's when it started getting more serious. Like, the talks started getting more serious.
Because the hard goods, and selfishly, I didn't want you to move. You're just, you know, getting settled in, and I didn't want to lose a friend. And Dixon, California sounds so far. But, and hard goods, like, to me, like, everything I knew about hunting, which was not much at all, but at that point was, gosh, there's an opportunity on digital. So hard goods is great, but, man, someone's got to do this digital. And then that's when we started. And
that's the world you came from. He came from. So, like, he saw the opportunity, which, like, it's a paradigm shift for me. It's just, it's what I knew. It's like, that's what I knew about hunting, is this is how it worked. But you have somebody looking at it from a different angle, and it's like, well, I never looked at it that way. And that makes a ton of sense. Like, yeah, there's probably more opportunity here. And that's when it started getting more serious.
So did you kind of have a vision for it, like what it would look like?
Well,
or did that kind of just develop as you went? I assume it's probably a combination of
2012 was not that long ago, right? You're talking a decade ago. This is probably actually not 2013. 2013 is when we started actually talking. 2012 was when I was just casually learning about hunting from him. But 2013, I mean, it's not that long ago. You know, Netflix was big, Amazon. I mean, these digital companies were already giant, and there was this massive opportunity in hunting. It's like there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way to give information. And I remember the thing that struck me as so odd is he would be looking at these magazines and he'd be like, "Oh, here's the ranking." I'm like, "Well, doesn't everybody read this magazine? Everybody sees the same ranking? Well, then everyone's gonna. If you change something from a 5th ranking to a 3,
and what did I tell you?
You like to look at the neighboring units.
Yeah, I'm like, that's where you don't want to go. Like, don't go there.
That's part of the strategy as well.
Yeah, the old school strategy.
Knowing where everybody else is
the old
looking
school strategy. Yeah. And then I would find a ridge that ran from that unit into a neighboring one, and then I would look at, those deer don't know that's a fucking GMU line.
So like the first aha moment was like, we need to do something on digital if we're going to do something. And then the second one was like, why don't we give the user as much information as possible and empower them and let them decide. And I think that was really early on.
Because at the time it was just trophy units.
And it was
That's
like these
only one
ranked,
I've recovered.
is weirdly
top
ranked.
10.
Like, how do you rank that as a unit? Like, there's
to
so
who?
much.
It's all relative,
Exactly.
right?
It's all relative. Like, who first of all is ranking these? So he was kind of pushing why can't everybody make the decision for themselves with all the information? And I remember the aha moment for me was like, can we put that much information? He's like, it's online, so yeah, like you literally can do as much as you want. I'm like, holy shit!
And you can change it whenever you want.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well that sounds very interesting.
Well, and this is too when millennials were really coming into being a critical like generation and like having disposable income and stuff. And millennials had patience of a 2-year-old, right? And so I remember like he would be talking about like the Arizona Strip. Oh, this is what everybody wants. I'm like, well, how long does it take to get a tag there? He's like, oh, 20, 25 years. I'm like, well, what are you doing for the next until you draw that? Like, there's got to be opportunity on a yearly basis, and like
that's why I said Coos deer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're asking? Oh, so that was 2013. We started like, hey, maybe we can do something. Maybe we can do something. We had day jobs at this point.
Yeah, which is what I wanted to ask. Like, both of you had jobs.
Oh yeah.
You both had good jobs, right? Like,
yeah.
Good jobs, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I would say, yeah. I mean, I think the definition of success, however you define it, I think whatever way you define, we were both doing well and had opportunities in front of us for sure.
Yeah. Was there anxiety about like pulling the plug and being not okay, we're going to do this?
Because I'm pretty. We had this conversation this morning. When I think I'm right, there's no talking me off the ledge. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I had a moment.
Did you have a moment when you went home and talked to your wife and you're like, hey, listen?
I remember it like it was yesterday. We were on an airplane and we were going on a summer, like a family vacation with her parents, my wife's family. And I remember like you sit next to her and going, hey, and at this point, like all of my career, which is, I'm 31 at this point. So 10 years into my career was all in online gaming. Like that's what I knew, and I knew it really well, right? And there weren't that many people that knew it well, right? It was a really young industry. And I remember going, God, Lorenzo's passionate. He's got this big idea. It's exciting. It's entrepreneurship. I love it. Like I think I want to give it a shot. And I remember she literally laughed in my face. She goes, What do you know about hunting? And I'm like, that was definitely a humbling moment. I'm like, oh, maybe this is crazy.
Yeah.
But we were able to kind of have our day job and night job for a couple months, which helped us evolve the idea a little bit more. When we hired somebody as a director of product to like run our technology, that's when it's very real. Because when you hire somebody and they leave a different job, it's like now the stakes are
responsibility is through the roof.
That's on you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then we just took a lot of really good insight from other people and ourselves and kind of built it out as a brain dump session from a lot of different people and what should we do next, and that's kind of how it all came together.
So as it evolved, did your role, are you doing right now what you kind of pictured from the jump, or is it kind of evolved over time? Talk a little bit. I'm just curious personally. Like,
it's a good question.
How did this evolve for you personally within GoHunt? Is it going the way that you thought it would? Is it where are you at on the spectrum as far as like what you thought it could be to like where we are now?
Oh, it's evolved.
Yeah, I agree.
It's evolved tremendously. Like, if you think of, you want to have a vision, but if it's too big, too soon, it's overwhelming. Mm-hmm. So you create these like little milestones along the way. I remember when we launched the store in like 2017, that was like a huge moment. Now I can't imagine GoHunt without the store. Like there's just these different milestones, and you keep trying to get better and learn along the way. But we didn't think like that day would be.
Yeah.
No, I remember that conversation too in the parking lot. Like
about
Porter,
the shop?
I got this thought in my head, and I think it's a good one. I don't want you to respond right now because you asked if he was inquisitive about hunting. Mm-hmm. If you know Porter, one question leads to the Porter snowball effect, which is, I would say, his best gift within GoHunt because he gets to, you get to the point, you get fully well-rounded with all these questions that you aren't asking yourself. I'm like, I knew him well enough at the time. Like, I don't want an answer. I don't say anything back. I want to do a store. Just settle on that. Just don't ask any questions. Just think about that. So we left the parking lot up. But I would not let him ask any questions. I just told him and walked away. Got my truck and left. It's pretty funny.
I remember that.
Let him stew on it.
Well, ops guy goes, warehouse,
Yeah,
where are we
he's the
going?
whole operations guy. And I told him the idea, and I get to just go home, and he's sitting there like, holy shit, now what? Like,
wheels spinning.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
like, now
how much
this
capital
and
do you
this
need
and
for
this and
inventory? I mean, they're like projecting that
this.
out
Yeah,
of
and
the
that's what I
gate.
didn't want him to start asking me because I had no idea. I
Yeah.
had no clue. I just had this thing that I thought would
fly.
My dad and I went on a hunt. We were talking. My dad's ultra smart and was a visionary himself. And we felt like there was this fit. And so, like, that's all I knew. There was just this fit.
Gotcha.
It was pretty interesting. I mean, 10 years doesn't seem like that long when
10
you look
years is a
back.
while.
But when you look forward, that's a long time.
10
Think
years
about
is a
all the
long-
hunts we can go on in the next 10
Yeah.
years. But then when you look back, it's like doesn't seem that long ago. It's weird to look forward towards look back.
I mean, think about how long you guys have both been here now, and how much your roles have changed.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, just like
Quite a bit.
evolving.
And he became a big game hunter too. He got thrown into the mix.
I did. I remember early on wanting to just do it to understand the customer, and then I got the bug.
You get the bug hard now.
Yeah.
We give Porter a lot of shit, but I give him a lot of credit too because he's gone on backcountry hunts, like full-blown backcountry hunts, before some of like the acquaintances that I know that are big hunters, way before they ever have. That would call themselves hunters, since 12 years old, like since they could start. And he was going on backcountry hunts before them.
What was your first hunt that you did?
I went with his brother in 2013 without a tag, just to help him. He had a Nevada mule deer tag. 2014, I had a Utah Muzzy tag. That was my very first tag.
Muzzy King.
Muzzy
King. That's when
Shout
he came
out
out
Porter.
as a Muzzy King.
Hey, killed the opening night.
Yep, Muzzy King.
And then when I went on a third season that November, and then
So your first hunt was a
Snowball from there.
muzzleloader. The first one that you actually killed was a muzzleloader mule deer.
Open sight muzzleloader.
What was it like?
I think it was 1 power scope. Was it open sight? It's Utah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure we were using open sights on that muzzleloader.
Might have been right about that transition. Then
Mhm.
when they went from open to
Because you used my
magnified
muzzleloader.
scopes.
I think I used
And
your
I only
cousin's.
had an. Oh, it might have been
Cousins.
one.
I think it was
power.
1 power.
That might have been true.
It was a new
That's probably
law.
True.
But anyway,
That's probably true.
yeah,
Did you love it from the get go, or was it like, I want to try this out just to see?
I did love it. I was like, yeah, I had a blast. But it was opening night, right? So like there wasn't like the grind. And then I had like 3 or 4 hunts right after that kicked my butt, and I was like, oh, and I
This is
got
a different
humbled
thing.
fast. I was like, dude,
That'll happen.
this is overwhelming. Like,
Yeah.
Speaking
I
of,
still
my dad
remember
just
this.
walked in. Paul, will you take care of my dad? My dad just walked in. Actually, nice timing.
Should get him on the podcast.
We should get him on the podcast. I would love to.
I would just like to sit and listen to him tell stories.
I would love to. I'd love to go back in his day of
he can tell some good ones.
Yeah, I bet.
with his uncle and back when he was a kid. But yeah, it was. He got into it fast. And then if you look, like, I don't know, he's been on some right. I mean,
He
he's
has
been
a
on some
track
pretty
record
wild
too.
hunts
Like he doesn't give up.
No.
There's a lot of those Colorado hunts. You had other buddies who went home early. You ground it out to the last day and shot a freaking giant. You've done that multiple times. Like you have a
Well, literally the
very
same day he
impressive.
was leaving, he was hunting that same, which not a lot of people do. You know
No.
what I mean?
Mhm.
They don't take it to the down to the wire.
You took it down the wire.
I would definitely say the DNA of GOHUNT though is like that. We don't die, we just multiply kind of a thing, and that's how we all hunt too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes it that much sweeter though when you do connect. Like so I went on that late season 2014, ate my tag, got my butt kicked. Had a 2015. I went on a backcountry hunt with goats with Brandon, which I had no business going on with on a muzzleloader hunt. I had my harvest success chance going into that was probably 1%. Ate that tag. Had a Utah general season tag. Shot and missed a great buck. So I ate both tags in 2015. I had a good muzzy tag in 2016 in Nevada that I got lucky and drew. Got my butt kicked there.
Yeah, you went on a run there.
And then 2016, I went on a third season Colorado tag. Got my butt kicked. That's what you're talking about, Brady. Till the last
second
morning.
of the last day.
No, last morning. That
was
Sunday morning.
It was Sunday morning.
Yeah, when you were going to drive home.
Yeah, we were on our way out of town. We had one last shot on this buck we'd been chasing.
And that's what I say. Most people would just sleep in, get out of town. You know what I mean? Like,
most
people wouldn't pack the hunt pack the truck like they're going home, but stop the hunt. You know what I mean?
That year was really hot.
Yeah,
third season.
That's when you killed your.
That was a
first
terrible.
big buck.
That was
was
a
a bad
terrible
year.
third season. Horrible third season. That was. I remember I was in Kremling and I sent you a picture of 65 degrees.
Yes.
On the last day, my truck read 65 on the last day.
I was in short sleeve getting sunburnt, but connecting that morning was like the most rewarding feeling. FaceTiming the wife, like it was emotional. It was crazy. It's hard to explain to a non-hunter.
What do you like about hunting? It's always interesting for me because, like, I grew up hunting. You grew up hunting. You grew up hunting. Like, you started hunting in your late 20s, maybe early 30s.
Yeah, early 30s.
Like, what is it about it for you? Like, what draws you in?
I've always loved the outdoors. So you have the outdoor element. You have the challenge. It's so challenging. Like the meat component. Like there's something about harvesting an animal, putting the meat on your back, and then cooking that meat. Like that connection's hard to explain. I don't know, all that combined.
And you're a really good planner. We've discussed that right away at the beginning.
When he goes on a hunt, good is an understatement.
And you eat well when you hunt with Porter.
That's the other benefit.
Yeah, you definitely eat well.
Especially if you have goats or llamas. Holy shit, you're going to be eating good.
Tortellini pesto, right, Porter?
Oh god, that was a fun hunt.
Yeah, it's always interesting. Everybody's a little different in how they hunt. You know, I've hunted with you one time. We went on a Colorado hunt this last month, I guess.
We didn't eat that good on that one though.
We
that
ate
was
pretty
a little. We eat good because of in town.
I ate a lot better than I do on most hunts.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's what I've always heard is Porter eats well when he's out there.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Is that like?
He's got the energy to like care about it. I don't have enough energy to care. By the time Yeah, but I think that's interesting. Like everybody's a little bit different on what they want out of a hunt, and I think part of the reason, at least to me, from the outside looking in, like it seems to me like that's part of a hunt for you that you value. It's like part of the thing of being in the woods is eating well and being enjoying that part of it and being out there.
100%. And that's I didn't have a backcountry hunt in 22 and I missed it bad. But like the planning logistics, like you guys are talking about going into a backcountry hunt, and then the food component, like you gotta pace yourself, as you guys know, on a hunt. Like if you have too many ups and downs, you'll just burn yourself out. And like my personality, I can do that. So food allows you to kind of like, you go have a horrible day, right, where you don't see anything. You come back, you have a nice meal, a couple spices or something to improve it. It gets you a little mojo. Having coffee in the backcountry.
Coffee's key.
Yeah, coffee is key.
Yeah.
Coffee is key.
I've noticed, so the one time I have hunted with you, it's interesting because I've known you at work, and everybody that's asked, it's like at home, like, oh, how was hunting with Porter? How was it? Was it things good? How'd it go? I thought it was really interesting in that, like, I find you far more relaxed when you were hunting. Like you didn't think so?
Beyond.
Oh,
yes.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, man,
it's like not even comparable.
Yeah, I'm like, I know him at work. He's very energetic. He's, very, to the point. He's got plan. I mean, you plan your hunt. But like, I was really surprised at what felt like just the level of relaxation. It felt like you really relaxed into that hunt.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody. I mean, everybody I've talked to that I've told, I said, yeah. I mean, he was like really relaxed. Like,
which is hard to believe. But that's what hunting does to people, honestly. It's like, dude, you're in an entirely different world.
Yeah,
like that's my draw
escape.
to it is it's a completely different world. Like literally it's these dual realities happening of like today compared to what I'm going to be doing 2 days from now when I'm on my Mexico hunt. It's like two completely different realities. And when you're in that reality, it's like it's just a different world, so you become like kind of a different person. You know?
So from my standpoint, it seemed that way. Does it feel that way to you? Do you look at it as like a reset? Does it feel that way?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you have to remind yourself you're hunting. You're not at work. Like you
do?
Wait, what?
Yeah, you have to like.
I never have to remember.
No, at least myself.
Wait, this is a completely different experience.
No, but like you'll.
I usually have to remember I have a job.
Yeah. Oh wait. Should I check my phone? And then I'll get the anxiety of like no, I definitely should check my phone.
Yeah, by day 4, I'm like, wait, do I have another life besides?
I mean, like on day 3, if you're like not seeing anything, you're just getting down because it happens to, almost every hunt, right? You have to be like, dude, I'm outdoors. I'm like, this is amazing. Like, you have to remind yourself of that, which to me at least calms me. Because I used to get really tense, like, holy cow, another day down. I didn't see anything. Like, you can't. I had to settle myself. So I don't know, maybe. Well, I felt like you were a little bit tense. I think you wanted me to have a good hunt for my 40th.
Yeah,
I was trying to.
I am way more uptight. Like, the most uptight I ever am is hunting for somebody else.
Yeah.
Because
Me as well.
I know what it means to me, and I know the experiences I've had, and I know, like, I don't know, I want that for other people. That's how I've been with hunting. Like, I want them to experience some things that I've been lucky enough to experience. So, like, I hold way more stress when I'm hunting for somebody else.
I might have been counterbalancing him a little bit. I was like, dude, it's day 2. We're freaking having the time of our life.
Honestly,
you know, like, it's all good.
Honestly, you did. It's just, it's one of those things too. Like, there are some hunts out there that are more stressful because your expectations are through the roof. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That's who I am. But I can't control that. But, like, I get into some things, and, like, I get in my head, and you just want it to, right?
You want
but then it takes a couple days where you're like, all right, this is awesome. Like, we've never done this before. All of us out doing this shit. Like, where we were, the conditions were amazing. There was deer everywhere. We were looking for special ones, but, like, that's when I'm the most tense, is in those
Me
moments.
as well. That's why I don't think I wouldn't enjoy being an actual guide. And I don't know how those guys do it.
I would hold way too much stress.
Yeah, me too.
Way too much.
Yeah, I want so badly for the person to have a good hunt.
Yeah.
For them to
that once in a lifetime.
Yeah,
that
to
oh my
kill
God,
a great
this
animal.
Yeah.
The amount of stress that I carry around with me is like way more than.
When I hunt myself, I'm very easily like, I'm good. I'll do this forever.
Yeah, but you seemed real relaxed. I liked it.
That was such a fun hunt.
We got to do it again
I
somehow.
To enjoy every moment.
Yep. So we're headed into a new year, which is one of the reasons we wanted to have you on.
This is why.
This is actually why we wanted to have you on.
It was a good intro for you and a good little look into the window.
Is this an intervention?
We just figured you'd make this topic.
Sorry, Porter, your Coke habit ends here. Just kidding. We're headed into a new year, and we want to talk a little bit about a little bit cliche, new year, new you. Do you take New Year's, and we wanted to kind of talk about like personal goals, like what you have in mind for the new year, what we all have in mind for 2023, and then just also, like for the business, where we want to head, where you see it heading. So first and foremost, I guess, are you a New Year's resolution guy?
Yes, big time. Like, I don't call it that.
Told you.
That's why we had you.
Told you.
That's literally
we were talking about doing this, and then today when we saw you, he was like, he's a resolutions guy. I'm like, I guarantee he's a resolutions guy. Guaranteed. Planner mentality, priority mentality.
Big time.
Do you have it written down in your mirror at home, too, to look at your resolution every day?
Do you have a vision board?
You don't strike me as a vision board kind of guy. Like,
No.
I don't know if you have that secret kept from me that you're like a vision board guy, but I wouldn't see that.
No, I try to set like it's more of a goal than a resolution. But I definitely.
But like you're a first of the year goal setter.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go through the holidays, spend some good time with family. What's important? What am I trying to accomplish next year? Like, oh yeah.
So tell us what it is. What do you got in mind? I'm interested.
Health is one for sure, and my hesitation is because Lorenzo threw me for a whole spin yesterday.
Why should I throw you for a hesitation?
I'll explain in a second. But
what did I do to throw you? You're already off your plan is thrown off just because of.
Oh, you threw me way off yesterday.
Okay. Can't wait to hear why.
I want to hear. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear why.
Health and work. Like the previous year, it was a lot of family. I feel like
You make me feel like a bad husband and parent.
I pretty much quit golf altogether to spend more time with family and all that, and just like between work, because we work a lot here, between work and I wanted to prioritize family. I feel like accomplished that quite a bit in 22, so that's in good order. Things are good. So health and work. I really want to accomplish a lot with work. So those are kind of the two going in. I'm really focused.
What are you doing health-wise? I mean, are you a guy that like sets weekly goals, daily?
Yes. So I usually follow this guy. This is why I got beef with him right now. I usually follow this guy. A decade ago, he told me cheese was bad. I quit cheese a decade ago.
Cheese? Is
And
cheese
now-
bad? Why is cheese
and
bad?
now-
And now cheese is good?
Hold
And
on.
now he's big on cheese, and I
I'm not
can't.
big. I'm
I
not
You
big.
can't
guys are
keep up.
insane.
Hold
cheese
on,
is
hold on.
amazing.
I gotta.
He was
fight.
also big on a flour diet.
I gotta fight
dude,
for
so I don't know
myself.
what we can trust.
I gotta
I
fight
can't
for
trust.
myself here. I
I'm
gotta
definitely
fight.
not going down that
Hold
road.
on. I gotta fight for myself here.
I mean, I eat pizza and cheese. Like, I just mean cutting back on cheese. He said one line to me a decade ago. I listen to him way more than he realizes, and I take it like it's gospel.
Well, he takes it. It's so black and white, which I don't look at anything black and white. I told you that raw and wet cheeses are good. The processed cheeses.
Wet cheese sounds disgusting.
It does
like
sound disgusting.
Like mozzarella.
I'm not eating wet cheese.
Burrata, stuff like
Yeah.
that. But like, I was telling him the packaged processed cheeses are horrible. Like, it's that simple, right? But he took it as cheese is just absolutely terrible. It's gonna fucking kill you.
Oh man,
I'm black and white like that. So speaking of black and white, yesterday, so there's a lot of momentum. You know where I'm going, but there's a lot of momentum around carnivore, right? So what's throwing me off right now, right? Because I'm a black and white guy. Like I want to hear something, but like that makes sense, and I want to commit to it. Dude, these diets right now are throwing me off. You'll listen to a podcast and someone will talk about paleo is the greatest, and then carnivore is the greatest, and they're so contradictory. I'm like, wait, I'm really having a hard time processing what's what.
Yeah, it's just new trends.
you need to pray
Yeah.
about this. That's
He-
what you need.
Exactly.
He was big on
Need to
macros
meditate.
last year. I
Need to
started really
meditate.
adopting macros. I just follow him, whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
He's doing carnivore right now. I'm like, God,
You are?
am I going to
Yeah.
follow carnivore with this guy? And then, so
Here's-
that's what's throwing me off. Oh, then yesterday, he told me almond milk's like horrible. And like, I'm like,
Thank you, Cody Bohr, for my coffee. Appreciate
and
that.
I drink
bud.
a lot of almond milk.
Yeah.
So I'm really struggling with this one. He threw me for a loop yesterday.
So you're cutting almond milk now?
I don't know. I don't want to, but he
So
said
here-
Almond milk's
here's-
go back
almond
to
milk's just straight
cheese.
sugar.
Why are we
Hold on.
cutting cheese?
Hold on.
Have you guys had string cheese?
Well,
It's
the-
amazing.
It is so bad.
So
for you.
processed.
It
That's-
is so bad
yeah.
for you.
I mean, when you can put a string cheese in your backpack and 12 days later it looks the exact same,
That's not good.
Yeah, that's not good.
I can imagine it's not good, but man, is it
That's
good.
my point. Well, here's my thing with him. I am fully well aware of what I do and who I am. I love to learn new stuff. I love to try new stuff. I got into photography. I've gotten into golf. I've gotten into archery shooting and long range shooting. I
Flying
just
helicopters.
like flying helicopters. Like something piques my interest, and I just dive straight in.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that has piqued my interest and has kept my interest through college and post, all the way into today, is human performance, nutrition, body compositions, like what's good for what's bad for what, like, what type of body types are good for certain types of activities, all kinds of stuff, right? And I've, since college, have always been very much into human performance. Like, just, that's what I like. So I have going to get my ass kicked here that I'm going to admit this on a podcast, but I was vegan for over a year. I wanted to try it. I wanted to see what it was. There was the old, I can't remember which hunter said he would go vegan before every hunt so he wouldn't smell like
Randy Ulmer.
Yeah. Like,
Doesn't want to smell like a predator.
It was so interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you know what? That really piques my interest. Like, I'm going to go vegan. I'm going to do this. I ended up doing it for a year because 30 days, 60 days, it's not enough for me. Like, I really want to see, which is so weird that I was ever vegan. I was vegan in like 2012.
We were
basically,
starting
like all
Gohan.
of-
He was
all of
around.
20
You were
2013.
eating like daisies for lunch.
Yeah.
Was he? Am I lying?
Literally, it was the flour
Yeah.
It
diet.
was a
That's
flour.
That's what we
He
called
was
it.
literally eating
I was
flour.
I was
Yeah.
eating very healthy vegan.
As
So,
we
like,
were launching a hunting company.
no grains, no processed grains, no any of that stuff. And I just wanted to try it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like shit. I had to be on a bunch of supplements, all this stuff. I'm like, okay, this is clearly not for me, right? And then I would get into the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. Anyways, I don't know why he follows me as gospel, because he knows I'm going to change
You
at
switch.
some point. Like, I want to try it. I want to see what it's about. I want to see if I like it. I have no problems. Like, I am not a resolutions guy. So this is why we wanted to invite you, because we wanted to do this resolutions podcast and like how it would tie into next year and hunting and business. And I am not a resolutions guy. I'm the exact opposite. I'm the guy that will change in November, just so I can prove to myself that, like, I'll go through all the holidays and I'm not going to break. Like, that's the kind of mentality I have. And, like, I don't care. I'm going to do this. I don't need January 1st. I don't need any day. It's like, today I'm going to do it. And then I'll prove to myself I can do it. I have a weird thing in my head about that. You know that about me.
Oh, yeah.
I got this. When it gets in my head, I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. Mm-hmm. So he knows I'm going to change, and he knows I'm going to change, like, rapidly from one side to the other. I want to see what this is all about, right? So, yes, I am on carnivore right now, and I am so deep down the rabbit hole because I want to understand it. I want to know everything about it. I want to make sure I'm doing it right so I can tell if my body is taking to what these people are, doctors and scientists and nutritionists are talking about. So I take it very serious. I don't just do this stuff on a whim. Like, I do massive amounts of research on my own. I listen to tons of podcasts, a lot of human performance podcasts. And this one has piqued my interest. One, because I'm a hunter and I can live off of the purest form of meat for the rest of my life, which is very enticing to me. And I wanted to try it. So I'm so deep down this rabbit hole right now where I told him, like, so one quick point is every time I do these things, I will find like one or two things that are true. And I'm like, okay, I will never do that again, right? Like string cheeses. I'll never do that again. I'll never eat another string cheese the rest of my life. I won't let my kid eat them. I won't do it. So
more for me?
Yeah, more for you. So you're good. So I'll always find these things. Well, the thing I found through all this research in carnivore, I've been doing it for a little over 6 weeks now. I went through the holidays and, because I'm
His
weird
poor
like
wife.
that, and my wife fucking hates it. And I don't blame her, but that's just how I am mentally.
Who does a
just
brand
don't-
new diet between Thanksgiving and Christmas?
Everyone, I'm
that's a
going
rough
to
one.
start first
Not
of the
me.
year. In my mind, I'm like, well, that's easy. There's nothing after the first of the year, so how easy is it to like stick to it? You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing to look forward to. There's no holidays. There's no one.
You want to
nothing.
torture yourself.
I'm like, I'm gonna prove to myself I can do this going into the new year because I'll be head start. You know what I mean? Now it'll get easy after the first of the year.
Right.
It's the way my mind works. Another sound Porter's making from putting chew in right now.
That's on the carnivore diet.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Hey, I'm not a sissy
Comes
guy
from-
that eats these
comes from a plant.
rogues and stuff.
Comes from a plant, can't have it. But almond milk and oat milk and all this stuff, phytic acids, oxidates, linic acids, all the gums that they have to put into these things to make milk, because a seed obviously can't make a milk. My favorite thing.
Yeah,
you're just
it's
doing
highly
weird,
processed.
You're just doing weird shit with a seed and water to call it something, right? So I told him that, and I'm like, one thing that I have already found in my 6 weeks of research and now my 6 weeks of starting is I will never go back to almond, oat milk, none of that ever again. I'll never have it again.
Based on what? What are you feeling in your body? Like, what's different?
So there's quite a few things that I couldn't tell you exactly what I was feeling because like when I was in macros and doing all this other stuff, like it's very hard if you
To tease it out.
thinking like that's thousands of different ingredients I was eating. Right now I'm eating 3 or 4, right? Red meat, water, and like
Red meat
Air.
and water.
like literally red meat, water, and pork rinds. Like that's it.
Gotcha.
That's all I eat. And only salt and pepper, no spices, no nothing. So I'm going to do this for a long time, and I will start adding things back in, and I would probably be able to tell you what it would do to me. But what I can tell you is seed oils and phytic, linic acids, oxidates, all these things that come from processed things, it is so beyond bad for you. Like in the medical research of this being studied, it's actually pretty wild. It's insanely wild. Now, it's up for everybody to interpret it the way they want to. I am choosing to interpret it as like, that makes a lot of sense for me, but like in my mind, that makes so much sense. And so that's where I'm at with it. So now I've thrown him off where I'll never have cheese, like that type of cheese. I will absolutely right now crush a fresh raw cheese, no question about it. But so that, and now this almond milk, oat milk thing. And so now he doesn't know what to do.
So funny.
That was a very long-winded
In his defense,
history.
it's not just him. Like, there's these new trends that are so contradictory to the trends of 5 years ago, and it's like they're like polar opposites,
Yeah.
right? So, like South Beach was a big thing a decade ago to 5 years ago.
Never knew South Beach.
Is that like
And-
Atkins?
I don't know.
It
I've
was
never done Atkins or
the
any of
newer
that shit
version
either.
of that. But the point is raw almonds was like gold. Like,
Yep.
like raw almonds last
Oh, yeah,
5
they're
years,
big.
10 years ago. I mean, my in-laws grow almonds. Like, almonds are a big deal, right?
Yeah,
Everyone's
then
got
al-
almonds.
then almond milk got
You
big.
can't ditch almonds then.
That's what I thought.
You'll be kicked out of the
Raw.
family.
No one should ever eat a raw almond again.
I'm interested in. I mean,
I thought they were superfoods.
Blanched or roasted.
We were trained that almonds were superfoods, and now it's like they're the devil, and my mind is just like, how can they go from a superfood to the devil? I can't keep up with this. I'm so confused.
Even the studies about like red meat. Red meat, they always said, oh yeah, excess of red meat is really bad for you. Now I saw one the other week that was like, actually red meat is phenomenal for your body. Like everyone needs more red meat.
Yeah. So my thing to Porter is like, whenever you find something, you're always going to have the polar opposite. People trying to say it's true. Just look at everything in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at hunting. It's, in my opinion, the purest form of human interaction with the primal world, and we are the highest level of the food chain. We should be involved and stewards of the food chain, not just observers of it. Because how are we here doing what we're doing to this planet, but supposed to not put ourselves into this primal world and be stewards of it? So like, but then you have the total antis, right? Mm-hmm. So like anything in life, I mean, the easiest one to look at is politics, which none of us our age.
Let's dive in.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we could solve it in about 5 minutes. Obviously joking there, but like you look everywhere and it's just they're polar opposites. So that's why I like to dive head in with research, decide if there are enough things to pique my interest to get me to do it. And once I decide yes or no, if I decide yes, I'm all in because I want to see what this is. I've been vegan before. Now this is entirely opposite. I've done some things in between, but like I've always the ex-athlete, I guess you could call in me. It's like I'm always seeing if I'm getting stronger. I'm always seeing if my VO2 max is getting better. I'm always looking at my resting heart rate. I wear this Whoop tracker. I've always worn some form of tracker even before Whoop came out. I've always been tracking my sleep. I track everything, and I always have. I'm very data-driven in that point of my life, very undata-driven in the rest of my life. But like, am I getting stronger? Am I getting faster? My VO2 max getting better? Is my resting heart rate getting better? Is all this stuff, right? So I don't know why he follows me, because he knows I'm going to change it, and I just want to see the next thing. I want to see what it's all about. Like, what is everyone talking about? I want to understand it, and if it piques my interest enough, I will jump head in.
Point being, though, I think you have to. I mean, you're trying it, right? Like,
I'm not just trying it. I am doing it.
Well, I think that's the thing.
That's my other mentality. I don't try things.
Yeah.
I don't try things.
Well, you try it for a while, and then you evaluate the response, right?
He commits head first.
I do them. If it piques my interest enough,
you're going to go carnivore, and you're going to, like you just barely said, no seed oils, no almond milk, anything like that, right? And you just said you never will ever again.
No.
Right? And that's based on...
To the best of my ability, of course.
Yeah, I understand that. But like you're saying based on the way you've felt for the last 6 weeks?
Not 6 weeks.
8 weeks, 2 months?
Not 6 weeks.
Okay.
First 2 weeks, let me tell you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information you can find out what I'm talking about right now. Just Google the first 2 weeks of carnivore.
Okay.
It is. There is not a definition of a known thing that could explain what you go through those first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's different.
Point being, though, I think what you're saying is you got to try it.
I believe that.
Yeah. My brain needs like it to be logical, and what I'm really struggling with is, well, first of all, his dad tried carnivore, and he's like
tried keto.
He tried keto. Okay.
He's here, right? Dad, did you try carnivore or keto? Keto. He tried keto.
And you felt like crap, right? But
the keto flu.
But
right,
when the plant-based was getting a bunch of momentum last couple of years, the Netflix doc and stuff, it was logical to me that like hunting and gathering, you kill an animal, you eat that, but you can't have meat every day, right? That was logical to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that you needed vegetables, you needed nuts. Like that made sense to me, right? And then
not vegetables, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. So but that made sense where you're not supposed to have meat every day, 24/7. Like it made sense. And then, but there's a lot of like compelling points around this carnivore stuff, and it's getting a lot of momentum. There's a lot of people talking about it. And then he's talking about the good bacteria and the bad bacteria and all this stuff. And I'm like, but you couldn't eat meat every day, all day, like when civilization was happening. So I'm struggling with it. And then he was talking about plants have all these chemicals on them, right? As defense mechanisms. That does make sense to me. Mm-hmm. So anyway, he's got me spinning.
So what did you land on? You're going to try it?
So back to the thing. No,
well, hold on.
I'm going to see.
Hold on. Let's get to brass tacks here. It's January 4th.
Yes.
What is the new year, new you? I couldn't have spun you out that bad.
Yeah. Well, I'm not ready to quit almond milk yet. I love me some almonds, and I don't want to get spins for my family.
Well, I pointed out the ingredients to him yesterday in the break room.
Yeah.
He's like, what's the problem with almond milk? So I read the label, and then I'm like, this is what's in it. That's the problem. And you look at dairy milk, and it is dairy milk. Like raw dairy milk. And I'm not talking about the shit you buy in the grocery stores with 12 grams of added sugar or any of that bullshit. I'm talking raw, organic dairy milk.
A couple years ago, it's not your fault because I know you're trying stuff, but I listened to you, right? And he goes,
which I appreciate.
Milk, horrible for your body. You know, and I'm like, okay, cool.
That's what I'm talking about. It's the shit in the grocery stores.
5 years ago.
That's what I'm talking about.
So have you not had milk, cow's milk?
I really converted to almond milk like 5 years ago.
Okay.
And you ask me how I feel. Like, oh, it's great. Like, I don't know. Maybe it has nothing to do with almond milk. So I'm not ready to commit. I'm like watching him closely. I'm doing the macros that he did 6 months ago. I'm just a follower.
I got
just follow him back,
unbelievably strong on macros. Like I will say,
you're jacked.
For my body, did macros work? Fuck yeah. Like my strength was going through the roof to a point where I backed off. I'm like, okay, now I'm degrading what I want to be good at, which is hunting. Like I'm crossing the threshold here. Like I'm wildly crossing the threshold. Like I need to find a way to bring it back. And that's when I started looking at other things, and carnivore was picking up a lot of steam. And I've always wanted to try it, but if you do any research on it, those first 2 to 3 weeks, even upwards of 6 weeks, like right now I'm still not 100% like functioning. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know,
I know what you mean.
Functioning.
Trust me,
I'm picking up what you're putting
I'm
down.
still like I can feel I am turning to the better now. Like I'm out of the misery. I'm still in the uneasy, but I can feel I'm 6 weeks in. I can feel it turning to like it's getting better, and I can literally feel it turning.
He told me yesterday he hasn't passed gas in like 5 weeks. I don't know if that's too personal, but I'm like,
that's amazing.
Is that good? I don't know. I thought about that last night. I'm like,
sounds good to me. Actually,
sounds
amazing.
Can't remember the last time. Well, it's really it's like what my body has done is really interesting. My top end strength in my early sets of like strength-based training, right there, 100% of what I was in my macros. I shouldn't say 100% in my macros. I'm like 10% off, call it, which is like, I mean, super nominal, right? Like very easily dealt with. My endurance strength, like I'm a big 5x5, 6x6, 7x7 kind of guy in strength-based training. When I get into the deeper strength-based sets, I am wiped. Like I'm done. So I have like 1 or 2 top-end strength sets in me, and then I fall off a cliff after that. That is one thing I've definitely noticed. I want to see if that's going to turn, and you know, as the rest of my body turns into like actually accepting what I'm doing to it right now.
Gotcha.
But I've definitely noticed that.
So I'm watching him closely. I don't know what I'm committing to diet-wise. Like
it's January 4th.
Well, I know, but I mean, I'm eating pretty clean. But that's from last year.
But you didn't change anything, so it's not a new year, new you.
Hold on, I didn't finish.
Oh, shit.
But so I've been eating pretty clean. I'm still doing MegaFit meals and stuff that you were doing 6 months ago. So I'm eating
great business, by the way. Great business.
They do. No shameless sponsorship plug or anything, but they're a good business.
No. Michael Chandler, UFC fighter. My brother-in-law manages. He's a fucking great guy. Salt of the earth guy. He's an awesome guy. I've been around him a couple times now. Awesome dude. He's comments on our stuff now. I don't know if you guys have noticed. He's just a great guy. But he is who turned me on to Make It Fit.
Yeah, I like him.
He's a sponsored athlete by them. He's like, dude, you got it. This is purely organic. Just do it.
And that's a pre-prep meal, right, that you order, shows up to. Would you recommend that, both of you? I mean, as far as like, because that's one of the things I struggle with the most is like when I leave.
Highly recommend.
Oh, yeah. It'll cut down on your snacking and the convenience, like from an efficiency standpoint. I mean, you don't have to go worry about like if I don't bring in food like that, I'm like, I'm gonna run somewhere. I end up like takes me 25 minutes to go somewhere, get it to go, come back. I'm like, it's not efficient.
And do they ship those?
Yeah,
I mean, they ship right to your door.
And you can schedule them, everything. Like this is my whole thing. Where like I'm not a planner, but in this part, I don't know. It's a really weird thing with me, body performance, humor performance. When I decide to do something, I am like an ultra planner when it comes to that because I have to know I want to know everything,
What's
and I want to know how I'm going to do it. I want to know my strategy before I jump into all this stuff. So if you're going to do macros, which is what I decided to do, like that is right. It's the age-old saying, "Fail to plan, plan to fail."
Mm-hmm.
Like this is your plan right here. This is it.
Yeah,
Like this is what you do. This is you build your macros in this shipment. This is what you do for the week.
Is the
Can't break it.
cost of it? I mean, is it fairly economical? One of the things that's interesting for me is like I will look at something like that and I will evaluate the cost and I'll be like, ugh, can't afford it.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side,
Mm-hmm.
I'll make bad choices.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, to me, as I think about it, it makes sense. I mean, I should just do it, regardless of the cost, because I'm going to make a better decision. It's done.
If you're going to make all your own meals, it's more expensive. But if you're going to do some of your own meals and go out, it's a break even or a savings.
I'll tell you.
Gotcha.
So
like $10 a meal or something,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you
So
go out, that's cheap.
At the time I was my main focus on health and human performance longevity is hunting. It is entirely hunting based. That's why I've never done CrossFit. The injury ratio in CrossFit, I'm like, okay, that is not good for hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Like shoulder, hip, leg injuries, I'm like, no, I'm not. I will never.
Not gonna risk it.
I love the theory of CrossFit, the general theory of CrossFit. I like the training style of like all gas, no brakes. Super high level heart rates and long sustained high heart rates. Like I believe in all of that for VO2 max. I believe in all of it for resting heart rate, health, all that stuff. But the risk of injury ratio, I can't do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of my health based or longevity based training strategies, food strategies, whatever it is, it's for hunting. And I wanted to get stronger in my legs. I wanted to get stronger in my hips. I wanted to get stronger in all that because I have a knee injury I never fixed. You were well aware from our hunt in Colorado. I always have to use trekking poles. My legs, they weren't atrophying by any means, but like I definitely don't push them that hard. So I wanted to make up a lot of strength in my legs. So macros was what I found to be the best strength ladder of how to eat, right? How to get the strength ladder up. And I was eating 3,500 calories. I was eating 7 meals a day. And with shipping, my MegaFit was $404 a month. Or sorry, a week. $404 a week.
Gotcha.
Would get me 3,500 calories a day in 7 different meals. And then that would be a week's worth was $404. And I would eat the same thing every day at the exact same time, which is how you're supposed to do macros.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was $404 a week, which for one individual, pretty expensive, right? When you start thinking, I have a wife and kid who are also, grocery shopping. So it's expensive, but when you do the math of like, am I doing all grocery, all cooking myself? Yeah, it's much more expensive. But if you do the math of like going out and all this shit, then it's roughly
I think it's like anything. I mean, it's an evaluation. Like how important to you is it? Do you know what I mean? I continually, I mean, how much is self-loathing worth? You know? Like I sit around all the time thinking, shit, I shouldn't have ate that, and I ate it, and I'll eat another one. And you kick yourself, down the road. You beat yourself up about the choices that you make. I mean, what's that worth? It's worth something.
It is worth something. And my mind immediately goes to, like when I'm off, because I'll get off sometimes too, because I am unbelievably strict on myself with this kind of stuff. When I get off, I go off the fucking rails. And I think all you guys know that. Or
remember on my hunt, he would get like
me do
when we'd go out, you'd get like
2
meals.
dinners.
Yeah.
I'd get 2 different dinners.
Yeah.
He can crush.
But like, it's
How much, Porter? How much of like your diet, your exercise? I mean, how much of that is like? Do you think about hunting in terms of like the long-term goal? Is that what really?
Yeah. So 100%, because I'm like, I want to do backpack hunts when I'm in my 50s and 60s. I watched his dad do sheep hunts in his 60s. I'm like,
his dad was just saying,
my dad's 65.
Your dad looks great.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And he's a big guy.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
6'4".
Mm-hmm.
He's giant. I look like a little fucking piss hand next to him. he's a big guy.
That.
But he's so healthy. Like that's what, when I watch him, he's going on another sheep hunt this year. And he has another one planned next year. These are up north backcountry sheep hunts, right? And man, if we're doing that, I'll be pretty happy.
Yeah.
That's very top of mind. And I turned 40 in November, as you know, when we're on our hunt. So like that's exactly top of mind. I'm like, I want to extend my life. I want a high quality of life. So anyway, I'm doing the macros things, and then I started working out pretty good with him and his brother-in-law last year. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. But I still saw a plateau last year, and definitely am a social drinker, and like this is the one I've been avoiding, but that's what I'm really committed to. So I'm going fully dry in January. And I like tequila and I like wine a lot, right? And
you like fun. You like having
yeah, like I wouldn't go get smashed, right? But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
2 glasses, 3 glasses of wine, a couple tequilas, like that stacks up.
All
And so-
before noon.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm committed to that. I've been avoiding that for years, trying to figure out how to hack it.
Is
to
that
the full-
intimidating to you? Is that
Yeah.
the one like above and beyond? Is that like the one that you're like, man?
Because it's hard to go to like a social atmosphere, and then
Mhm.
you're the guy not doing it. And you gotta explain it for your reasoning. But
Yep. And I'm a social guy. My wife and I have a social calendar, and we got this and that. So yeah, this is way more.
It legitimately is. That is so much fun for you guys.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. We work hard. I like to play hard. So that's the one I'm really committed to. And I've listened to a lot of podcasts lately, and there's a lot of science of, it affects sleep and all these things. This is the one I'm like, okay, I'm going to really try it. I want to see how I feel. I mean, I haven't gone 30 days. This is going to be sad and make me sound like an alcoholic, but I probably haven't gone 30 days since I was 20.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and again, that's not me getting hammered on a Monday night. That's
Sure.
just if you look at
Glass of wine. Yeah.
Yep.
when we went on our hunt, took llamas, took
We
a
did.
little
Boxed
whiskey.
wine.
we did have some.
Oh no, you took whiskey. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the one I'm really committed to, and I want to see how I feel and how. A lot of people say that like after a couple weeks, you feel so sharp and all
Dead
that.
inside.
Just feel bored. Just feel
So-
dead.
So we'll
Let's see if Porter
we'll
will
see.
grab onto this. We'll
What are
see.
you doing as far as working
I don't
out?
believe. First of all, I'm going to press you on this. I don't believe 30 days is near enough for
Yeah, I think-
anything in life.
I think
You're
we
just
should
barely
just,
setting a habit
we
at
should
that
just
point.
make it 60 or 90 right
That's
now.
I feel like 90 is a proper cutoff. I feel like 60 is a negotiable cutoff.
April 1st.
I feel like 30 days is you're just getting started.
Let's put it down on the calendar, Porter. April 1st.
I just told you guys I haven't probably gone 30 days since I was 21 years old, and you guys are now throwing 90
We're
days.
going
in
to
my-
get you to commit publicly to 60 at least. I'm going to try for 90.
I'm not opposed to it. I want to see how I feel.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like,
But just because you
Is the
feel
juice-
bad doesn't mean you jump the ship. It just means you keep going to see if it ever turns. And you need more than 30 days to get that.
our boy Brinker's inspired me a little bit.
I know. I saw
Yeah.
that. He's going the
was-
whole year.
I was texting him a bunch over the holiday, going because him and I were very, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
He was the same thing. He's a social drinker.
He's a fun
and-
guy.
Yeah,
He's
and I'm like, seriously, like, talk to me. Like, do you really feel different? He's like, I feel way, way better. And then he was talking about the gym. He's like, the results go through the roof because you're just not setting yourself back.
Yeah.
You're not
You know?
poisoning yourself.
Just more
I mean-
energy. Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast this morning where they're talking about it being poison, but we'll see. So, he committed to a whole year.
Yeah,
That's
he
no
did.
joke.
This year he's starting?
Mm-hmm.
His birthday, like October.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's been within the last couple of weeks that I saw him post that. And he,
So
yeah,
October to October?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be
and-
tough.
Yeah, and he
Really
went
tough.
Birthday
he,
to birthday.
Yeah.
He put it out on his social media. So
Hold himself
Yeah.
accountable.
yeah,
I definitely believe in that.
But I mean,
Nothing
he says
like a good
he feels
solid
great.
public shaming once you've committed to something.
He says he feels great, super sharp, energy levels,
Yeah.
all that. So I'm really interested to see.
that's good, man. That's
I'll do it as long as you do it.
It's not hard for you.
what are you doing as far as working out?
But I'm pretty consistent, like 6 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
I lift 4 days a week, and then I do 45 minutes on the Peloton for my 2 cardio days.
Gotcha.
Solid.
I've always loved working out because I just love sweating. I love the physical nature of it. You just feel like you're accomplishing something. You feel better. I love getting up early, working out, starting my day that way. Starting my day hydrating and not coffee. Like, I've noticed that a big difference too. So
Always working out in the morning.
yes, he got me on that a while ago.
I need to get on that morning train.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, morning's the way to go.
Oh, it's.
Because there's always something in the afternoon that a commitment comes up, or you didn't know something was going to happen. Then you're skipping your workout, and then the next day you might skip your workout again. But morning, you can just get it done.
Morning's the way to go. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm entirely two different people. Like
Yeah.
when I don't run in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, if I run in the evening or noon even, like it's okay. But like if I don't start my day out with a run, like it's a bad day.
But see, I can do cardio in the morning very easily, but I have a hard time trying to do weights in the morning.
Sure, and I don't do weights, so
we need to get you to commit on here. The number one thing for longevity of the body is resistance training, whether that be weights or whether that be bands or whatever it is. That literally is supported in, I mean, almost entirely through all the medical studies. Resistance training, whether that be weights or bands or whatever it is, that's the purest form of longevity.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I mean, isn't running, you do trail running, which is better than pavement, but isn't that hard on your body?
I mean, yeah, I mean, they say it is, but for me, it's never been. I mean, like if I take a break, like for the fall, for example, like if I take August to October and I'm not running consistently because I'm hunting and work and everything, when I start back, I notice like the first week my joints are a little achy, but yeah, I don't have achy, and I don't know. I mean, I've ran pretty consistently for probably 15 years, I guess, 16 years at this
long time.
Long time and at this point, like, yeah, I don't.
Well, you're at a level of your running where you're like normal, you're like zone 2 easy day is through the roof compared to like someone else.
Yeah, and I like to run. Part of it's physical, and then a lot of it's I would say 90.
Like your normal days like a 7. 8 miler.
Yeah, I run 5, 7, 10, depending on the day. But I would say it's typically between 5 and 10 a day.
That's a lot for like compared to like the normal person.
But most of it's mental. Like I really like the clarity that I feel post run.
Mm-hmm.
I like the time to think. I'm pretty much a loner anyway, but like I like that time alone to run and just like get my thoughts right. And most of that is for me. And that's like, I don't know, people ask like, oh, how do you, some people hate running. I hate lifting weights, for example.
And I hate running.
Yeah. I would say do what works for you.
Yeah.
Like there's no wrong as long as you're doing something.
But I do agree. You got to throw in the hate.
Yeah.
You have to. You got to throw in the hate.
I agree. Last year, the thing
it doesn't have to be your priority or like your foundation. You got to throw in the hate.
Last year, the thing like thing you hate.
Get in a deep dark place.
Do the thing that you
got to
hate.
get in a dark place every now and again.
I mean, last year
You want them to lift.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I forced myself to run.
Yep.
I hate it, but I force myself to do it, and I fucking dread the days that I have to run, but I do it.
Last year, the thing that I did differently, I would run like 4 days a week, and then 2 days or 3 days a week, I would do like a 10 or 12 incline on the treadmill with like a 50-pound pack, and I would walk at like 3 miles an hour, and I'd do that for, 3.5 miles or 4 miles, depending on however I felt. But like doing that and running, and then I also push-ups and set-ups and stuff. I did that, but like I went into this last hunting
That's resistance training.
Yeah.
Body weight's resistance.
Yeah, but I felt better this last year than I had in a long time. Like I packed out elk this year where I was just like, man, I feel great. I feel really, really good.
That's where I got to on macros, packing out your bull. That was such a clear moment in my mind where like, holy shit, putting on this muscle, this strength, I feel fucking amazing. Like I have such a good VO2 max muscle ratio balance. I got out of control of 2021. I was pretty dense, we'll call it. Like I said, I went through the threshold, and I noticed the difference between 20 and 21, and now that's why I want to hold 2021 but drop and get a better VO2 max this year.
You're talking 22.
Or 22, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I do remember that, though.
Sorry.
My hunt, the one you're talking about is November of 2020.
Yes,
and
that's when I was.
I do remember you were like lean. Your cardio was like that pack out was gnarly.
But my leg strength, I finally had put on some leg strength for the first time in a long time because I was always scared of my knee. And then I finally just agreed that I was going to do it, told myself I was going to do it. So I went macros. I went super heavy on hips, legs, all that stuff, like all the foundational movements. Well, the way I do it is I'll go so long to where I start it to feel the other way, which is how I felt this last season. I'm like, okay, this is not good. Now this is too much. Like I need to go. Now I need to drop it and go back the other side and try to keep what I loved about it, right? Try to go back the other way. That's how my mind works.
Yeah. So you both work out, but is it just something you've always done? So like it's a daily habit. It's no question. You don't ever question it. Like, do you ever have mornings that you get up and you're like, I'm not doing it today. Don't feel like it today. Or like, how do you maintain your motivation to keep working out?
You want to go first?
You do different. I need to try new routines.
Yeah.
You try different things more
all
often.
the time.
Yeah, that I need to do that.
I'll get in 6-week programs. Like I'm a at least 6 weeks kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I believe that's how long it takes to see. And so like if I don't like it, or if I think it's going like my strength-based training, it was going way too high. I'm like, okay, I'm getting to a point now where this is going to hurt my ability to hunt. Like my VO2 max is going to suffer. My resting heart rate was going up. Like I could see the data points that were moving, and then I'll switch it. That's what I do. But my motivation, like post athletics, I got into not a good place with the gym. And I would say I was a lot more active, like through college and all that stuff, right? When I decided I wasn't going to play anymore. I was so active, though, it didn't necessarily matter. But what it does matter is when you come home and you start working. And that's when it started to change fast. And I got big. Like I got to 260 with not an ounce of muscle.
My gosh.
I got a great picture we'll throw up on the screen. Phenomenal
waterfowl picture?
Yeah, my waterfowl picture where I was deep into work, like post-college work stress, like trying to get ahead at work, all that stuff. No gym whatsoever, and a lot of waterfowl hunting that carried over from college. And because waterfowl hunting is easy to do on the weekends. Big game hunting at the time, like I was trying to get ahead in life elsewhere. So like big game kind of took a back seat because it's so time-consuming and out of the office, all this stuff. And I got to 260 in a bad way, in a really bad way. And I love looking at that picture because it's funny to me. I honestly can't believe it, but like, dude, when I was showing people that picture and I was looking, I'm like, holy shit, like,
Yeah.
I gotta solve this. And then it got me back into like the athletic mindset. And ever since that day, I've been always working on something, trying something, whether it be strength or VO2 max or resting heart rate or whatever it is, right? Like I've always had a motivation to do it.
Yeah. So what I think is interesting though is like it's interesting to hear you talk, because I think your motivation, at least from my outside looking at you, it seems like you're very self-motivated by just discovery.
Hugely.
You're interested to see what your body responds to.
Hugely.
And I don't know that that's like a motivation that a lot of people think about or even talk about. I mean, a lot of people like me, for example, I'll register for a trail run. I'm going to sign up for this 25K trail run. That's my motivation. I know I have to get my training runs in so that I can go run this run. I'm going to go do it and have a good experience. But like a lot of that's like, I'm not self-exploratory. I'm not like thinking about like how I feel on a day-to-day. So I think it's interesting to hear you talk that a lot of your motivation is just really, you want to know like what your body's capable of, and you're kind of exploring.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And for hunting.
Yeah.
Like that is where my mind goes.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Right. In the fall, but like that's
well, and like in the meantime, like as I'm getting stronger, I pay very much attention to my VO2 max to see if my hunting's going to take a hit, and it started to. So I'm like, okay, I gotta change this, right? Like I don't like this ratio of muscle mass and my VO2 max levels and all that.
To me,
He's
that's
very
interesting.
into the science of it.
Yeah, and that's interesting to me because it's a different form of motivation that I don't know that a lot of people think about, myself included. I don't, and I mean I can make excuses that like, oh, my day-to-day life and stressors and kids and family and the whole thing is just too much to think about. But I like the fact that you're saying a lot of your motivation is introspective on exploring your body and how you feel.
Yeah, what I'm capable of. That's what I'm driven by.
That's interesting.
That's entirely what I'm driven by.
What about you?
Mine's just like yours.
Yeah.
I want to be told. That's why I want him to experiment and then tell me what to do.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's put so much hours and hours of research into the science of it, and I don't know if it's patience or whatever, but I don't want to go into that. I mean, I'll watch a documentary or something, but I want him to learn and tell me what to do.
Like
but
I'll read the medical stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
he's
why I work
out on blood work and stuff,
Yeah,
and
I get my blood taken every 6 weeks and have for a while. I take peptides. I'm on BPC 157. I'm on ipamorelin. I'm into all that stuff and the science behind it, right? Like the peptide science of stimulating your pituitary gland it's just a branched chain amino acid. That's all it is. You can subcutaneously inject it, and all it does is stimulate with a completely natural branched chain amino acid bridge will stimulate your pituitary gland to do more of what you're asking it to do by what you're injecting. And I have found huge success in that, and I love it. And then also in the morning workouts, adenosine is the chemical that your body releases when you sleep. So when you wake up, you have adenosine in your body. You have to shake it out, right? So like the 2 in the afternoon crash that everybody talks about, it's one, you didn't wipe the adenosine before you went into work or whatever you were going to do, so you had a low level of adenosine, and when you finally sit for long enough and your heart rate gets to a low enough rate, you're going to feel that. Or you had coffee too early in the morning because caffeine blocks the receptors of adenosine. Yeah. So like if you have coffee too early in the morning, you still have adenosine in your body, although you're not. Early? They say 45 minutes. I do an hour. Okay. So I don't have coffee for an hour after I wake up. And I don't have it until after I work out because you get all you can work the adenosine out of your body. That's why we all feel better, like if you go to the gym in the morning as opposed to when you don't, because you haven't shaken out that adenosine chemical in your body. So it's it's very science-based, and that's why I like to work out in the morning, is the way my life works. I don't have time in the afternoon. I don't want to find the time because I would rather be here and I'd rather be with my family. I like to wake up early. I wake up at 4:30. I don't look at my phone. I don't do anything unless he texts me, which I get mad at every time he does because that's the only time I'll look. And like I have this thing that I do, and I don't. It's my time, and all based on the performance of like getting the adenosine out, endorphins flowing, all the stuff I'm chasing.
Are you tracking this stuff year over year, like in a journal, right? Like what you're,
He's a nerd.
Literally on a piece of paper.
I mean, this thing. But like shameless plug here. How Insider has changed my life, and it just makes everything so easy. Where I don't have to have the paperwork, the yellow notepad, and I don't have to do all this shit. The Whoop strap has like revolutionized because it does it all for you, and you get monthly like data sets. Like you get these monthly things sent to you, and you can compare them just like we can in our QuickBooks, and you can compare month over month, year over year, all this stuff. It is like. I don't have to work near as hard as I used to.
But then even like workouts though, like what you did 3 years ago and your squats and whatever else, like you have that tracked. You can see the trends.
Yeah.
Pretty, what do you do to stay motivated? You've always worked out since I've known you.
Yeah, I've always worked out. And literally it's kind of what Lorenzo says. It's literally my sole focus in life is to hunt. And I just want to be present in hunting as long as I can. And so my motivation is just making my body handle all the rigors of hunting. So that's literally the only reason I work out, is to continue to hunt. And obviously the life benefit for later on in life, but like sole motivation is literally hunting. Everything. Sure, I might look good, but I don't care about that. I want to hunt.
I don't really care about that either.
I
I said this on another podcast.
Come on, you don't want to look bad. You
dude,
guys both know that.
You will not catch me dead with lifting my shirt up, taking a selfie, sending it to people. You will not. I don't give a flying fuck about that. There goes my hope.
I was hoping.
I don't care. I wear a sweatshirt to the gym every single. I don't give a shit what I look like.
Yeah.
I don't care if I got the gym fit on. I don't care. All I care about is these certain metrics I look at: VO2 max, muscle ratios. Like that's what I look at.
So most just hunting then?
Just like literally hunting. I just want to be the best performer in the mountains that I can do on a yearly basis.
And that hunt, I mean, the hunt being October and it's January, 4th today? That's enough of a motivator for you right now.
For the whole year.
Get you out of bed, go to the gym.
Well, not in the morning.
Oh.
He's not a morning guy.
Evening.
But I need to change that, because I say all the time too, like when you just said it right now, like you don't have coffee for the first hour. Like literally, I might wake up 15 minutes before I show up at the office.
Yeah.
And you have coffee.
And then I have coffee right away. Yeah. Like I'm literally waking up,
putting
clothes on.
In your body, you're just
driving to the office and having coffee right away.
The biggest things you could do seriously for your health is drink more water.
No.
I did save a little study I saw the other day. It was on some website on Instagram. I saved it, and it said there is something to be said about slowly killing yourself later on in life because you're not having enough water.
Oh, I'm dead.
So my theory,
dude, you
though,
might be you guys got to crush water.
I don't know.
What
if you can put a number of years lost to the amount of water that you don't drink, like I'm on that track fast. Like
how much water are you drinking?
You guys got to fix that.
None, ever. Hardly ever.
You guys, what are you doing?
You guys remember I say, if you're constantly living in a state of dehydration when you go hunting, your body doesn't need it.
I'll have days.
That's just not.
It'll be evening. I'll walk upstairs, after work, 5:30. I mean, like 9 o'clock at night. after work, Anyway,
No.
I'll walk upstairs.
After a long work day.
Yeah, 5:30, 6 o'clock, I'll have dinner, get ready to bed, brush my teeth, and I'll be like, man, after I brush my teeth, I think this is the first time I remember drinking water.
It's true. Like you and I are the same.
Yeah, like I'm that bad with water.
You're making me want to drink water.
I recently
right
put
now.
a piece of paper though in my fridge to remind myself to drink water.
Yeah.
I literally did. Like I need to have this much every
It's
single
so
day.
insane to me.
I
can't wrap my head around that.
I can't either.
I think I need to
Lorenzo, how bad is that? That is so.
I'm a gallon of water before I hit the office.
Holy shit.
3.5 liters of water before I
don't
hit
even
the
drink
That
office.
would never
in 2
work.
days.
I would be back and forth between the bathroom
You pee way
all
too
day
much.
long. I would pee 150 times a day.
You'll get to a point where your body accepts it.
You
And I'm not
guys.
saying I've been doing this. I log my water. I log everything.
That's the one thing I avoid on my app all the time.
I'm a dweeb about it, like he's saying. Anyways.
So I probably
It's a
need to get
little
one of those water
over the top,
jugs.
But you need
You-
to. You need to.
We have your New
drink some
Year's
water.
resolution. You guys
Yeah,
are both.
I feel
you
like
work
my
out,
resolutions are being set as we're talking right
Gallon
now.
of water a day.
like,
Okay.
and I will tell you, the one thing. So on the weekends, I don't work out as early as we do during the week. I sleep in over the holiday. By the way, I was talking to him. It was noon. I was at the gym. I was like, "Yeah, it's freaking Christmas Eve. I'm at the gym or whatever day it was." Like, kind of bragging to him. He's like, "Pfft, you missed your window. You didn't work out at 5 a.m. You're not going to get all the benefits." I'm like, "What?" But water during the week, when I'll drink like 2 of these before coffee, and I've noticed because I'm a big coffee guy, as you know.
I'm
Like,
a huge coffee guy.
Working out first without coffee and crushing water is so good. But you guys got to drink more water.
It is 2:40 right now in the afternoon, and I have not had a single cup of water all day.
I've had this, and honest to God, the only reason I've drank that water is because I knew I would be on a podcast and have to talk, just to wet my whistle.
I'm
That's
getting
it.
anxiety right now. Like, you guys, this is like, we need to talk about this. This is not good. Like, this is like horrible for you. It's not funny, Trail.
We want these guys
It's
around.
kind of funny to
Going.
me. Here's the thing: is the more you talk about it, I'm the type of guy that I'm like, nope, I'm definitely not drinking water now.
My mindset's
More
a
coffee.
lot of the same way. Like a lot of my
There's water
drive to
and coffee.
a lot of my drive to carnivores when people tell me like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's so unhealthy." That I'm like, okay.
I'm like,
gonna
how
try
much
it.
water is in a Diet Pepsi? I'll drink more of those.
Do you work out like occasionally, or you
Pretty
on
much
a
ev-
strict
pretty much every
regimen?
day.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
What does it right now look like?
Right now, I'm just getting back into it because of the hunting season. But right now, I just follow random workout plans on the old internet. I have a little whatever app that has a workout plan, trying to just gain.
I follow an app right now too, and
Yeah.
I do enjoy it instead of programming my own stuff.
Yeah, but like last year, it was following that, but then I also would supplement with literally squats and deadlifts almost every day
Mm-hmm.
because I just wanted to have the best mountain legs possible.
Yep.
And I'm also the type of person that I think I don't like. I could not work out. Like I probably won't say this in a few more years, but like I'm still at that age, or my body is, that I really don't have to work out and I can still crush the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to be able to perform better in the mountains. That's why I just hit.
So are you
deadlifts and
lifting
squats.
weights right now?
Yeah, I just started to get back.
Squats
on
and deadlifts.
Squats and deadlifts. Right
How
now.
long ago?
Well, we went back for a couple days now, but I just started kicking it off again.
So are you a new year, new you kind of guy?
New year, new me. Yeah.
You're a resolutions guy?
Yeah.
Like
Like,
first of the year, you
last year
set
was
off?
just motivation to go on the sheep hunt, and that's why I bought my home gym.
Yeah.
I bought a squat rack. I have a bench at home. I can do bench. I have a bunch of kettlebells. I have whatever that little thing is where I can just put the barbell on there and do a bunch of like rows and
The
stuff.
landmine?
Landmine, that's
Yeah.
it, yeah. And I have a dip rack and all that stuff at home. So like my home gym is where I'm at, but I still have my gym membership. I still go to the gym to do other functional stuff like bench and curls, which I shouldn't do anymore because it like hurt both my elbows last year from doing
Girls for the girls, man. Girls
But
for
like
the girls.
my biggest thing though is I love to work out. I don't need to motivate myself to work out. Like
Yeah.
I love it, but I'm really bad at the nutritional side, as we all know. Like I basically live a carnivore diet all the time. I don't eat vegetables. I
Yeah.
don't eat sugar. I don't have anything sweet wise. I can walk into a thing with donuts, cookies everywhere. Like on Christmas, I
won't
can
touch
walk
it.
right by them. It
See,
doesn't
that doesn't
affect
sound
me.
like you're bad at it at all. Sounds like you're amazing at it.
But I don't eat these anything. All I do is eat meat.
Yeah, which sounds great.
I know it sounds
Which-
great, but I listened to Lorenzo like the other week. We were talking like I need to eat more rice. I need to like.
Well, you
I just
Oh
eat,
no,
Hold on.
rice is the devil now. If you talk to
Okay.
Lorenzo,
no.
Shit.
Hold on. Hold on.
you talked to him
You-
3 months ago.
So I don't think I'm getting the gains I
We
should.
need a little more clarity to the topic here.
Yeah.
You said you wanted to gain weight.
I want to gain weight
Why?
badly
Why?
because I want to be able to keep that weight during the hunting season and still be able to have peak performance. Like
Yeah.
I kind of stop working out once hunting season comes,
Yeah.
and then all my freaking gains I worked so hard for are gone.
Yeah.
Like this last year, I got up to like 190, 188 maybe, and I went down to 172.
So insane.
What are you?
I was
6'5"?
6'4".
6'4", 6'5".
I went down to literally 172 pounds.
Wow.
Oh my god.
And right now I weigh 178.
You're
and that's
6'5", right?
Yeah, 6'5".
In 170 what?
172 I got down to during hunting season.
Okay.
But also I love cardio. I love to freaking run.
Yeah.
And so like when hunting season comes, I start running more. I start doing more rows, and then kind of just let some things go.
If I had your length of legs, I would like to run as well.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Nice.
It's fun to me. I love that sweat where I don't really get a big deep sweat workout when I'm lifting weights. And so I always struggle gaining that weight. Like you guys know, when I moved down to Vegas from Montana, I was 212. I was freaking jacked.
You were big. You were big.
And that was the highest weight I've ever gotten in my life was 212. And since then, I've never even broke 200.
Did you like how you felt at 212?
Oh, it was phenomenal.
That's
like,
what I'm interested in. Is
so that's
why. I mean, if your whole motivation is to hunt, what is it about? Like let me get into this. Like, what is your peak physical state for hunting?
I want to look at a ridge 3 miles away and be able to get there in a couple hours.
Do you not feel that way now?
I feel like I can, but I feel like I might be a little bit sore the next day,
Okay.
or like just it's slowly going to impact me throughout the longevity of a hunt. And I just want to be able to crush day 1 as I can day 8.
Gotcha.
And I think when I go into hunting season, I feel great, and I feel like I'm not limiting myself, but I feel like there's something I'm missing. Because every hunt I go on, I just keep losing more weight. I think it's strength.
Yeah. So
but it's also strength, like picking up a backpack and carrying heavy backpacks. I carry 14.5 pound rifle, giant PTX 115. So I have a lot of heavy.
You go heavy.
Yeah. So I need to be able to carry that every day. I think it's just wearing me down. I don't sleep as well. Everyone knows I can fall asleep on the mountain and not wake up. I've had a lot of mornings where I don't get up in time because I'm not a morning person. So that's why I really want to work out in the morning, switch my sleep schedule around.
Yeah.
I stay up way too late at night. Like normal bedtime is 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning.
That's when he's at the gym. I'll text Brady sometimes, like, late. If I'm up at 10 and I text Brady, he's at the gym.
I'm at the gym. Like,
it's so crazy.
This whole last year, I would start working out at like 10:30 and kind of be done around midnight. And then I come home and crush a bunch of food, and then you're wide awake. So I'm just sitting there doing whatever, writing.
You got your blood flowing.
Yeah. So
That's
I have to switch that too.
I can't do that at night.
It'd be interesting to see if you switched your workout time from morning and you went to bed earlier, if you would put on weight.
Maybe, yeah.
If your body would respond.
Guarantee it.
So your entire hormonal response in your body is completely 100% predicated on sleep.
Mm-hmm.
That is the foundational metric of your hormonal balance. You could still be out of balance, of course, with other things, but sleep is what the foundation of it is. So I bet if you did fix your sleep in your sleep schedule, more of the circadian rhythm, proper circadian rhythm, you'd be easier for you. And
I fall asleep on my couch almost every night. And I wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning.
And then go to your bed?
And then go to bed. But the TV's on while I'm falling asleep. I have the computer in my lap, my lap normally.
You're like a 60-year-old retired guy.
And here's the thing. My dad does the exact same thing his whole entire life. He would always fall asleep on the couch and then go upstairs and go to bed. And
can't do that.
It's just like, I have to change that as well. I think my couch is way too comfortable. Maybe I need to move my couch out of my living room and just sit on a chair.
No, you're tired. You need to go to bed.
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast like 2 days ago around light in your eyes, and there was a compelling case of how humans are supposed to kind of get up around sunrise and go to bed when it gets dark.
And be dark.
Well,
Brady, you'll rut harder if you get a little more.
Let me tell you, you want to rut harder, get on carnivore diet.
But then the same thing is too.
Let me tell you.
But I also have a very hard time actually.
No gas and better drive, huh? Compelling.
I have a really hard time too just stacking on weight though. Like every year I look like this.
So you feel like the lack of your performance in hunting is strength based.
Yeah. It's not mental. I will go wherever I need to go to do it, but it's like I want to be able to go there and faster and perform the best that I can. So like I think when I was over 200, I hunted phenomenally. Those are some of the best years I can remember. Yeah, I'm still hunting great right now, but 172 pounds does not feel right to me. And
I remember you were drinking protein shakes.
Yep, mass gainer shakes.
You had a gallon of water.
I did have a lot of water back then.
To me, yours is like so easily fixable.
That's what I want him to commit to. I'm working him down this path right now. We're going to get him to publicly commit. Through his Instagram too, by the way.
There you go.
And what you.
I mean, it's so obvious what he needs to do, right? Like it's like.
I mean, it's very hard to speak for somebody with matter of fact mentality, just because every individual is different. I fully believe that, But I mean, yeah, there are some certain ingredients here that are like pretty foundational. And pretty clear that's.
He forgets to eat lunch sometimes.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was going to say.
Clear.
Literally, right now today, I've had oatmeal with peanut butter, and that's it. And I'm not really that hungry. And I might go home sometimes.
Oh,
and
the
literally,
amount of phytic acid.
There's literally some nights
oxidates.
where I forget to eat dinner, and I'm not just hungry. So I don't feel like I ever need food too, which is also a problem that I'm just not, recovering.
Well, just look at your body type. You are that type of.
Yeah. I'm sitting here right now just burning weight.
Yeah.
Because
you're not an eater of a person. You don't carry body fat. You don't carry like mass. That's just that's your body type. So it makes sense. Where I'm the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Like I will gain weight just sitting here, literally not eating. Like it's.
So I just want to get to a certain point and be able to maintain that, and then see what that hunting season will be different. Because every year I fall apart during hunting season, but I'm still, like I said, I'm still able to do what I do, but I want to be able to do it better. And I don't want this to impede me later on, because right now it sure works. I'm only 36.
So what's your new year, new you going to be? What are we committing to?
I think I don't know how long.
Are you going to commit to something too?
Yeah, a gallon of water. That's easy.
There's no way you're committing to that.
Oh, I'll commit to that.
You will?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. We're coming back to you. What are you committed to?
I just want to be over 200 pounds and maintain it.
Ooh.
Which right now it's almost 25 pounds I have to gain.
All he has to do is eat more, sleep better, drink more water.
That's a big ask.
Why is that such a big ask?
25 pounds.
25
in
pounds.
1 year.
Is that even physically possible?
I mean,
I'm not going to eat shit food.
Yeah,
again,
it depends on the type of weight that you put on.
Yeah.
Wait, you're 172 now?
I was 178.1 this morning, which I lost 2.5 pounds over Christmas.
What?
And here's the thing. Here's the thing that's crazy about me too.
God.
So I eat so clean here. I go back home. My mom brings this up all the time. So I went back home. My mom is a phenomenal cook, absolutely phenomenal. I got sick when I was home. I had 3 days where my stomach was just destroyed. I didn't have the flu or anything, but I fully believe it's like eating these other foods that I'm not used to be eating, like more rich type foods, or I had more vegetables when I was home. Mom has more like creamy type stuff. Like I'm not used to eating that, because I just have literally, when I go home last night, I had a big thing of mule deer ground up in a tortilla, and that's my dinner. I had nothing else with it, but I was full afterwards. Like I don't eat a lot of other stuff, so I go home, I get sick a lot because of the foods my mom makes. That's normal foods for everyone else, but since I just don't eat the stuff I need to eat, then my body just reacts to it.
Yeah, that's the gut biome, what it's used to.
Yeah. And so I don't have any vegetables. I don't really eat potatoes. I probably know I should eat some more potatoes. And the only other thing I'll add is
potatoes, and I might even fight you on the other side of it too.
I do a lot of steaks, and I make a lot of basmati rice and some black beans, and I eat really burritos and steaks every single part of the week. And I might throw in 6 eggs one night with my mule deer, throw in a burrito, and that's what I eat.
But during the day, you're not eating enough calories.
During the day, I'm not eating a lot. Like you guys know, I don't eat lunch. Like I literally doesn't faze me to go work through lunch.
If you really want to get to 200, and again, it's hard to speak matter of fact anybody's like personal body and how you're going to react to it. But if you are sitting at 177,
178 right now,
and you want to get to 200 plus, by the way, that's by August for hunting season. I mean, you're going to be 4,000 plus calories.
And that's what I tried to do last year.
I would think the rough math.
Yeah. And it's hard. I get so full when I try to do that too, where I'm just like shoving food down my throat, and it just I feel more grogged down.
Macros would be the route for sure.
Yeah, macros for me.
What do you guys do for supplements? Anything? Do you do vitamins? Anything like that? Porter? Vitamin guy?
I listen to what Rogan tells me to do. Either Lorenzo or Rogan. Yeah. I do the
on it.
Oh yeah, I love it because rather than having like 8 bottles, like they come in little
pre-packets. I think it's nice.
Total Human. There's a morning one and an evening one. I need to be more consistent with my evening one, but yeah, I love it.
I just do multivitamins and fish oil.
To be honest with you.
And you feel different?
You only do fish oil?
Multivitamins and fish oil. That's the only things I do.
Fish oil.
Yep, that's what I do.
You?
So
do you guys do pre-workout?
On carnivore, you don't supplement at all.
Okay.
Because the bioavailability of the nutrients in red meat is the most bioavailable nutrients of any foods out there. And that's, been studied in a bunch of clinical studies for that to be true. So you don't supplement. So typically I would supplement, or like what I was doing on macros, I was supplementing fish oils, vitamin D. I think everybody could use some vitamin D, especially in how work life is now. I mean, we're just not outside enough, like ever. And I think the one good thing about the China virus here is that everybody showed and proved the lack of vitamin D, or how many people are vitamin D deficient. It's like so plain as day that everyone should be doing that. So I used to do a bunch of stuff, but now on carnivore, all I do is those 2 peptides, BPC 157 and ipamorelin, and that's it. That's all I do.
Gotcha.
And that's just a hormonal, pituitary gland hormonal stimulant. That's not like it's not a vitamin, mineral, any of that stuff.
You do anything to help you sleep, melatonin, anything like that? Sleep aid?
I do a sleep aid.
Ambien?
I can't drop my the sleep aid. I take
no Ambien for?
No.
Oh, come on. Just for a good time?
that's it.
No
Actually,
drinking, just Ambien.
Do you think that'd be a hard time getting up for the next morning?
I've never had it, but it sounds like a party
sounds
from what
intense.
I've heard.
Sounds wildly intense.
You take supplements?
No.
I do take one sleep supplement.
Okay.
It's called Beam Dream. Beam is the company. Dream
I've heard
is
of
the
those guys
product.
on Instagram.
And it is
Good.
phenomenal. Like I said, the foundation of your body's performance on sleep, that's what matters. And so I track my sleep, and I have it tracked pre this product and during this product. I have not gotten off of it since I started.
Ooh, it sounds like you're cheating on the carnivore.
No, because all it is magnesium, thiamine, and it's what's the other byproduct of weed? What's it called? CBD. And it's got
A good time.
a healthy amount of CBD in it, and that's
4 milligrams of THC. What else is in it?
no THC. I wish.
Huh.
Be
That's
sleeping
interesting.
real good. But no,
Yeah,
I do take that. So I
don't
lied.
do anything. I'll do vitamin D and like maybe a B complex, but I'm not consistent by any means. I'm pretty low maintenance.
I'm very consistent.
I should be better about it, but I'm not. What I'm discovering. It's interesting to talk to people, but yeah, what I'm discovering is like I definitely don't put enough time into like, exploring performance and thinking about it, and I get stuck in the the habit of like I do the thing that I do, and I do it. I get up and run. I don't have any issues with that, and I keep it pretty simple. But water,
So what are we committing to?
Water, gallon of water. I'll do a gallon of water. That's easy.
A day? For how long?
Forever.
Forever.
I don't believe in the forevers. It's impossible. There's got to
For
be
the
a
month of
measure.
January, and
Yeah,
see
I'll do
if
it.
you.
Yeah, I'll do
30 days isn't enough.
I'll do
it's
it.
not enough.
I'll do it through March. We'll go through March. See how it goes.
January through all of March.
Mhm.
So 90 days.
Sure.
Would have to be March 5th because you're going to start.
But
tomorrow.
I want to see if it makes a difference. If I feel better.
Oh,
It's going to start March 5th for you, or end March 5th for
Yeah,
you. And
I'll
if you
do
keep
that.
it, you keep it. If you don't, but that's your.
So,
what do you get?
so what am I doing? What's my advice?
I don't know. You gotta.
I think you should start working out in the morning.
That's
I
for
need
sure.
to work out in the morning. Gallon of
Flip
water.
your
water
sleep
for
schedule.
coffee.
Water before coffee. Because even when I take my multivitamins, I take my multivitamins with coffee.
you're
Like, I'm no joke.
that's gonna catch up to you, dude.
Yeah.
Like
That's why I'm getting a little bit more thoughtful about. I'm 36, getting older, getting gray hairs in my beard.
you
I've had
gotta
those
drink
for a
water.
while.
You know. But
Can't wash down your supplements with coffee.
yeah, I just got to fix this weight issue though too. Like I want,
You have to eat. It's
I
so
know.
easy to me.
Yeah.
Like you just gotta eat.
because I can do the workouts. Like the workouts, I can motivate myself all day. Like workouts part of my life. But it's just the food side of it's.
I
hard
mean,
for
it's
me.
calories in, calories out. Like you're
Mhm.
doing the calories out. You're burning them. You're working out.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing the hard part, frankly.
Yeah, and the hard part to me seems the easy part.
There's some science coming out that the circle diet is not necessarily true.
Oh God, here we go.
Calories in, calories out, which is interesting. I'm definitely paying attention to that right now.
Well, but
Andrew Huberman has a pretty compelling.
is he
calories
the
in,
guy? I
calories
think
out
he's the
don't
guy I
always
just
work.
listened to about light
Yeah.
Mhm.
in your eye.
Yeah,
he's blown up right now, huh?
Well, he's been blown up. I've been listening to Huberman for a long time.
Yeah, that's exactly who it was.
Huberman Labs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
what it
talks about a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. And I would say he's because Rogan's had him and a couple other people have had him. He talks about a lot of stuff. A lot of the light, the amount of light in your eye before 10 a.m. will be directly
exactly
correlated
right.
in how well of sleep you'll have and how much energy you'll have multiple days outside of that. It's a pretty cool study he's done.
But you listen to him, and it's like everything's terrible. Like
No.
if you don't get enough sleep, if like alcohol, everything is like Jesus. Everything's just horrible for you.
And Huberman's a
It's
great.
depressing.
Life is just
Yes.
hard.
Huberman he's a huge believer in the 80-20 rule, which so am I. As long as 80% of your days and nights are foundational, then have fun, blow it out the other 20%.
So can I get to 200 pounds?
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll have to
I don't
have
know
a
if you
check
want
in
to
here.
commit to that, but I think it's.
Look, you're
I
at
think it's a good-
177.
178 right now this
I
morning.
think
Let's
it's
do-
a good goal for you to have personally.
Let's do 190
190.
by.
Because I want to force myself to start eating more, so I need something to
by July.
July 190.
Yeah.
You could be more aggressive with that.
Ooh.
But I also want to keep.
That's the porter right now.
I also have to
He's
figure out a way
eating
to
like
keep
1,200 calories.
The
If he
other,
goes from 1,200 to 3,000 and
the other
drinks
thing
water,
too is if your body has been there before, it is very easy to get to that threshold again. It's very difficult to push past a threshold you've never been to. But if your body's been there before, it's much easier to get to that point. So maybe we are being a little lenient.
way too lenient.
20 pounds by July, 197.
I think, why don't you go 190 by April 1?
Which is what you're doing, water.
Yeah.
Right. Let's do that.
190 by April.
April
April
1,
1.
not
April
end
1.
of April.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is go from 1,000 calories a day to 4,000 or even 3. Can we get you to 3,000?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be enough.
I can't even. It's
Yeah,
so
I think I'm going to have almost 4,000 calories because like what my body
3,000.
burns.
And if you are working out every day,
And I love rowing. I love running.
you're probably at 3,000 just
Just
a normal day.
homeostasis, yeah, just
Yeah.
normal.
Let me write this down.
Lorenzo, he's not at 3,000.
No. Body burn.
It's
just his days.
Oh, yeah,
body
yeah,
burn.
yeah. I mean, it's
If
3
he
in the
works out
afternoon.
every single day, he's 6'5", and he works out like a banshee. And if he's doing that much cardio, he's probably on just like a normal run rate of 3,000.
It's
a day.
3 in the afternoon right now on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
He's had 0 coffee.
No,
and
zero
he's-
water.
0 water.
Or excuse
He's
me.
had a lot of coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
0
the-
water.
There's water in coffee.
That's a good point. 0 water.
It's mostly water.
And he's had oatmeal and peanut butter. So he's
Oatmeal,
had what?
peanut butter, and cinnamon. That's it.
500 calories?
That's all I've had today.
700 maybe.
Oh wait, no, I did have that English muffin earlier with peanut butter on it.
2 peanut butters.
Whole English
That
muffin.
is one thing.
sliced.
That is one thing I miss. Peanut butter is my favorite flavor on planet Earth. Can't have it.
It's bad for
and
you.
I'm missing that. I mean,
I love my Adams peanut butter
I mean,
because I hate fucking sugar.
listen. There are very different ways to look at everything. According to carnivore, yes, it is bad for you. According to carnivore.
When we do the 100th episode, Lorenzo's going to be talking about peanut butter should be with every single meal.
Yeah, probably.
God,
And I
hope
will
so.
tell you, and I will tell you how I feel,
I
which
can't
is the
wait
nice
for
part.
that episode.
And not only will I tell you how I feel, I can also back it up with the data.
Yeah.
So I'll
What are
let
you
you know.
committing to? You're doing carnivore?
I don't know. I'm not a New Year's resolution kind of person. I'm just like
Okay.
feel my body, listen to it. Like I said, I am very motivated by strength and VO2 max ratios because I want to be strong for hunting, but I don't want it to infringe on like the endurance of hunting. And obviously, there is a certain muscle mass that
Oh yeah.
gets you to that point, which I found last year. So don't want to go back to that. So I don't know what I would commit to. I don't know. I guess carnivore until you guys are done too. I have no idea.
I think it's a good one. I think you've already started it, so
I'm
it's
6
like you
weeks
said.
in.
You didn't have to have a hard date like January 1 to get going. I always
Yeah,
thought that was.
I fight the
I always
hard
thought that
date.
was funny. I mean, it's funny to me. Like I can wrap my head around. Like, why is it that January 1 can be such an easy reset for your mind
don't know.
mentally when it's the exact same as
And
any
I've
other
never,
damn day?
I've
is.
never believed that. I'm like, you know what? If you're going to be successful at something, do it now.
Yeah, it is.
If you really want to do it and be successful, do it now.
Yeah.
There's
I
no
mean,
other way to think about it.
Agreed. The one logical thing though is everyone usually, not you, Lorenzo, but most people eat like crap during the holidays.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So there's
And then
there's
feel
a
like
nice,
shit.
Yes, and so everyone's ready.
Never
for
understood that.
For some change.
some change.
Yeah,
if
that
you're
makes
tired
sense.
of feeling like shit, why are you going to continue to eat like shit through the
Yeah.
holidays?
It's like a
That's a
full
good point.
month of just torturing yourself.
Yeah, it's like you just get worse and worse through all of that.
And you feel like crap.
And you feel like shit.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
since
what is the reward through the holidays then? This is where my mind goes, so I'm genuinely asking you. Like my mind goes to, what is your reward to continue to eat through the holidays? Like you're telling me you don't want to start because the holidays are coming up, but you're telling me you feel like shit. So why would you continually do it through the holidays when you have time off and you have fun and there's things going on? And
Do you know what I think it is? The older I've gotten, the more I've thought about this. I think it's mindlessness. It's the ability to like
Not care.
lose self-control.
my favorite
Yeah.
my
Something
favorite
nice about
saying
that.
Yeah, there is something nice
my favorite
about
saying
it.
is to understand freedom, you have to understand discipline first.
Yeah.
And I live my life by that.
Yeah, I think it's the ability to just like lose control. And it's like, yeah, I don't care, And there's some reprieve in that, but then on the backside of it there's also some loathing and you know that it's coming,
Oh,
right?
I can't
It's
stand that.
it doesn't come without a cost for sure.
Can't stand that.
So while we're on the subject, I want to ask you.
You haven't committed to anything, by the way.
I have to run to this marketing meeting.
He's not drinking.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a big one for me.
That is a huge
Well, if
one.
we're going to March, so are you. Or to April, so are you.
Whoa.
Give me a little bit of credit? You know me. This is a big commitment.
What are you
going to
miss? What are you going to miss in those 3 months? There's nothing going on.
Should we get to the
You
I
haven't hit
I
Memorial
have
Day.
a big work event with my wife.
You haven't hit
It's like
Memorial
a black
Day.
tie. You want me to go there and drink water?
Soda water with the lime. No one will know the
gallon.
difference.
It's not about what people. It's about me and having to deal with these people I don't know. So, I mean, Lorenzo's not giving me enough credit, but
30 days is not enough. I don't accept that as a resolution.
I haven't gone 30 days since I was
Doesn't matter.
21 years old.
Doesn't matter. It's not enough. What are you doing it for? What is the purpose for
I want
doing
to see how I feel. I want to see if this Dr. Huber guy, who I'm just listening to, Herber Labs. Sorry, I'm butchering his name. What's his name?
Huberman Labs.
Yes, I'm new to him. Sounds like I'm late to the train.
No, I mean, any time is better than never.
Okay, so I want to. I mean, he makes very compelling arguments that it's quote poisoning your body. I want to see.
It is
the
not
difference.
quote poisoning your body.
It is. It
poisoning
really
your
is.
body.
Okay,
It
well,
is poisoning your
I
body.
want to see how I feel. I want to see
You're
how
going-
big of a difference it
You're
is.
going to feel different. I don't know if it's going to be better because 30 days isn't long enough. You could still be detoxing after 30 days. So it doesn't, you will feel different. It's just you're not going to know if it's better or worse.
Detoxing. This is an AA meeting. I'm not.
No, I am.
You said this
I
was
am-
an intervention.
I am detoxing.
And that's what this is.
My body is detoxing.
Really?
Through carnivore. And that's why I feel like I don't feel 100% yet. And I'm 6 weeks in. I do not feel 100%.
Said your energy levels are better.
My energy levels, I would always struggle with huge peaks and valleys of energy and huge peaks and valleys of stress levels. Like I was all over the map. Huge mood changes, massive like energy level changes. My mood changes were always on stress. Like that's what affects my mood more than anything. If I'm feel stress free, I'm in a good mood. If I'm overly stressed, I will rip someone's head off. My wife will tell you that. So the one thing I have noticed in the 6 weeks, post the 2 week flu, post that 2 week flu that you get, my energy levels and my stress levels are insanely consistent. Like I mean wildly consistent. Wildly consistent. But I'm not right. I am uneasy still. I'm not right because my stomach is still detoxing.
Yeah, you haven't passed gas for 5 weeks. That's unusual. Is it a good thing? It's probably a good thing.
I don't know.
There's
There's such little waste in red. The bioavailability of red meat is over 95% of the nutrients. So the amount of waste that your body produces is like next to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of bioavailability in like kale is 25% ish. I don't want to speak out of turn. I don't know if you can look that up really quick, Cody, but typically, like roughly speaking, vegetables are about 20+% in bioavailability. So yeah, they have more K2 and they have more of this, more of that than red meat, but you don't get any of it. You only get 25% of it. So if you look at the nutrition side by side at face value, some vegetables might look better, but then if you actually take the bioavailability of each, because you have no acids in meat, you have no phytic acids, no linic acids, no oxidates, which is the plant's defense chemicals. It doesn't want to be eaten, so it doesn't want to be digested either. So it's going to release chemicals.
This is the logical.
that
Like it
affect your-
makes sense, but then like
that affect your digestion.
you're
like
taught
phytic
veggies are
oxidates.
good for you. This is
Yeah,
what
fruit,
I'm
fruit
just.
and veg, right?
If you
I don't
believe,
eat 'em.
first of all, if any of you guys believe the FDA, we need an entirely new
No,
podcast
it's
here.
not about FDA, but
If
just
you believe the food pyramid, we need an entirely different podcast going on.
I'm gonna be doing next time I'm on here. Watch, I'll be doing carnivore because I'm just,
It is
and
not,
he'll probably be doing something else.
it's not for
but-
the faint of heart, I'll tell you that.
Depends on how he feels. He's going to assess it,
Yeah.
which is what I like.
And I
about
still
it.
don't feel right.
Yeah.
But it's been 6 weeks, so now I just get to quit because I don't feel right.
I don't know. That's a good question.
So what,
I'm
what are you committing to?
30 days.
30 days.
30 days.
And then we're
That's
going to
not
reassess.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
yeah,
We'll do that. You have to go to a marketing meeting?
I do.
Hold
before,
on.
Before you go. Okay.
I just thought of something. 30 days. And then the next 30 days, you get to pick one day.
I'm not committing to that. I'm giving a lot, and you're being greedy.
It is not very much. It's the 4th. It's not very much.
That's like me saying to you, like, you can't lift a weight for 60 days or something. Like, you're asking.
The one is way healthier than the other.
Well,
here.
yeah, but it's a big shift to current. I don't know. I can't think of an analogy, but
I'll give you the 30 days. I feel like
What's that? 5 to 10%. I was giving it more credit.
I'll give you 30
5
days.
to 10% of bioavailability of nutrients out of vegetables.
I give you 30 days, but then I think you reassess it and
Yeah.
see how you feel. And if you genuinely feel better, I think you put the mark out there farther and run with it.
I agree. Like if I'm as clear as people say, Brinkers says, like I feel great, I will definitely consider.
So there is a guarantee in this. Like I said, it's hard to speak matter of fact to anybody individually, but like you stop drinking, you will feel better. There's no question. It's just the amount of time it takes to get to that point. 30 days might not be enough.
It's a good start.
So we'll give it 31, 32, 33. As soon as you feel better, you commit to the next 30 days.
I like it.
So we publicly announcing this on social right now? Keep ourselves accountable?
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
I'm
Sure.
good with that.
You can do a story.
Yeah.
I'll do a story. You do a story.
I'm not going to do a story. But
I mean,
I'll
his
commit
is
to it.
drink water. I mean, yours is eat.
That's really easy.
I mean,
that's really easy.
Yeah, like eat and drink water.
Yeah. It's all relative, though. I mean, it's pretty easy for me to go 30 days without alcohol. I could go
Yeah.
60. Doesn't matter
No, I
to me.
could go-
It's
I
all
could-
relative.
Yeah.
I could literally.
It's all relative. Drinking a gallon of water for me is definitely going to be challenging. Like it's going to be a habit shift for me. I mean, to somebody that drinks water all the time, it's just part of their process. Like, but for me, I'm going to have to think about it. I'm going to have to cognitively make a decision to drink
so
water.
good for you, though.
So quickly though, what do you think about 75 hard?
I think anything that
Alright,
makes
I'm
you.
late.
No.
I got.
We got to ask one more question. We're a hunting podcast. What's your hunting goal for
Oh
the
yeah,
year?
what's your hunting?
One
goal?
hunting goal.
One hunting go. Okay.
Give us one hunting goal before you go.
I normally have a better hunting plan by January. What is today? January 4th. I'm a little bit behind on that category. Backcountry hunt for sure in 22. I don't have another goal on top of that.
23.
Excuse me, 23.
So a backcountry hunt.
Yes, I did not have one in 22, and I did not like that. Because the planning, the preparation, the training, like, I love nothing better to me than being 120 days out. And you got to, I get my gear laid out in our guest bedroom like 100 days before I leave. Like, I love it. Like, breaking in the boots, like all that. Like, so that I want to do again in 23. I don't know what the hunt is. I don't know what the species is. I don't know what the state is.
And that's a backpack multi-day hunt.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
That's a good one.
You, Brady?
That's
You
gonna
can
be really,
take off work
really
if you
tough
have
for
to.
me. I don't honestly know right now.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. I feel honored.
Thanks
Yeah.
for coming
We'll,
on.
we'll
We'll
finish this up.
Yeah,
since
we'll
you're
finish
leaving
it up.
us
You can,
early.
Yeah,
you
sorry.
you can take the mic off. And
I
just-
can?
Yeah.
Can I just say thank you guys?
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome to 50th.
We got to have you back on. There's still more to explore here.
I'm in. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Leo. Come on.
Brady, you don't have a. Ooh,
Oops.
you cut my mic. I'm
Yeah.
back. You don't have a hunting goal?
I don't honestly know yet. I was trying to think about that because I'm working on that article right now about my New Year's resolutions, and most of it's all about just fitness stuff right now.
So you are literally writing.
Yeah, I was possibly going to publish
So
it
you're
tomorrow.
a full-blown New Year's resolution.
Yeah, it was mainly like hunting goals, but it was all towards this fitness side of it. And so now I'm going to modify this article and put this challenge in there.
Yeah.
About, committing to whatever is April 1st being 190.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of a hunting goal. Like, most of my stuff I want to do every year is just chase big mule deer, but I don't know what else a goal around that could be. But I didn't kill a mule deer last year.
Mm-hmm.
Failed in that
So
regard.
kill one this year.
Kill mule deer.
Yeah, like I passed up a lot of bucks. Most people be happy with, but I wanted a giant, and I just
Mhm.
want to get another giant under my belt. Just really go after that challenge.
You got a
try to find
number in
old-
mind?
190 plus.
There you go.
There you go.
What about you?
Goal:
Yeah.
take my son on more hunts
That's
this
good
year
goal.
than last
That's
year. I
a-
only took him on one last year, and it was not like a. It wasn't like a family trip type of hunt, like where it's just really us hunting, the personal time. I need to do that this year.
Gotcha.
I did it 2 years ago, loved it. I need to do it this year. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's my definite goal, is to find that hunt, cow hunt maybe,
Mhm.
something that's just very with him, like
I
all
like
the
it.
entire way through.
Yeah. Trail.
Yeah, I'm similar to you. My oldest kid is 17. He's a junior in high school, and it's been really bizarre. The just kind of the weight is starting to really set in on me, but that he has one hunting season left at home.
Yeah.
He's
It's
got
wild to think.
yeah.
Holy shit.
He's got one hunting season left, so he's never killed a bull elk, so a branch antlered bull. So one of my goals is to take him and have him give the opportunity to kill his first branch antlered bull. And then along with that,
You're going to hold a lot of stress in that hunt.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
You're going to be
I
over the top.
definitely will. And then to get all three of my boys out, together on a hunt of some kind, just get them in the field somewhere, experience a hunt, whether it's with him hunting elk or, maybe a deer tag that I've got, just to get the three of them out together and just, camp. Spend some time camping.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one. And then kill a 180-inch mule deer with my bow.
There we go.
And kill a bull elk with my bow.
Those are some solid goals right there.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with hunting for the year.
What's your? Can I ask you your plan for the 180-inch mule deer?
Yeah.
What states you're looking at?
Mm-hmm.
What's your thought?
Yep. So I haven't had a deer tag in Utah for quite a few years, so I should have a deer tag in my home state with the ability to scout in a unit relatively close to home. So I like my chances there because there's still some good bucks in general season units if I just have the ability to scout. So I feel pretty good about my opportunity there. And then I've got the points, I think, to draw a Kaibab archery deer tag in Arizona, which I could definitely break. I could break that mark. I mean, I think it's real feasible. So I think those are probably the two I'm looking at.
That's awesome. That's a good goal.
Yep. And then, and then elk. I'll do Wyoming elk with my kid. And
I trust you with elk. I'm not I'm not worried there.
I'll draw that and go up and bow hunt and then take him back with a rifle, hopefully for 4 or 5 days.
Trail is literally part elk, so.
He literally is part elk.
I don't know.
I've hunted elk with him multiple times. He is part elk.
That's it. That's kind of my New Year's resolutions.
And now I feel like I haven't set a lofty enough goal here. I'm just trying to hunt with my kid more.
Hey, you probably haven't thought about it much.
I mean, again, I'm not like a resolutions kind of guy. It's it just happens to be application season, so I'm very focused on like this one goal for this next hunting season. It's not necessarily a resolution thing, so I haven't set out these game plans.
The other part of that is I asked the question, meaning that I'd been thinking about it.
Yeah. You knew it was coming.
Yeah, on the drive down, I'd been thinking about the question, so I had a leg up for sure. So.
For sure. Would you ask 75 hard?
75 hard. What do you think about 75 hard program?
I'm a huge fan of anything that gets somebody to do something now and like super rigid.
Yeah, it's very rigid.
Like there are two schools of thought, right? Like I'm going to do 1 good meal a day for a week and then 2 good meals a day. There's some, I guess, some thought there that I can understand. But I'm like if you're going to do it and be successful, decide a day and be super fucking rigid. Yeah. And like that's how you succeed.
Part of 75 hard that I find really intriguing that I'm going to try to do is the reading.
The reading? Yeah. Was it 5 minutes or 10 minutes a day?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it's 2
workouts a day.
Yep.
So it's 75 days of eating right, no sugar, none of that stuff. I don't know the exact nutritional profile.
Yeah, you have to follow some sort of program.
Yeah, and no sugar, no any of that, which I am huge fan of. I think everybody should detox themselves off of sugar.
Sugar's horrible.
A couple months out of the year, every year. I think that should be a thing. And I know it's 2 workouts a day. One is outside, right?
Yep,
which
one's outside.
I think is awesome.
Yep.
2 45-minute workouts.
Yeah, one of them has to be outside.
And one of them has to be outside, correct, Cody?
Yep.
Yep. And then the reading is interesting too, just to force yourself to. How many pages you say, Cody? 10 pages of educational or self-improvement.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was, but for me, I'm going to try to read 2 books a month.
That's a good goal.
And a gallon of water a day. There you go, Trail.
There it is.
You're already halfway there.
2 books a month and a
I
gallon of
know a couple
water.
people have done 75 hard.
Yeah, I was talking to one of my friends, Wilson, about it.
Yeah, no alcohol, no cheat meals. I know a couple people who have done it who, I'll call it we're struggling with some discipline, some self-discipline, and they are like totally different people.
Yeah, after you complete that, I bet you'd be totally dialed.
I know 2 people that were struggling with self-discipline.
Yep, different outlook on life.
Completely different people. Yeah.
I think that's what this all boils down to is self-discipline and self-control.
Do you think it's a learned trait or a born trait?
I think it's some born. I think I definitely know people that I don't know if they're born with it, but for whatever environmental
they grew up in
whatever environment they grew up in, they've definitely have the ability to have more self-control. I also think you can teach yourself. I'm definitely I'm an example of that. You can definitely teach yourself self-control. You can develop and get better at it. It's like a muscle. You develop it,
That's
get more
how I feel
of it.
I think you can train it and it only gets stronger.
Yeah, I definitely think regardless of where you started from, whatever environment you came up in, I definitely think you can. It's like a muscle. You can grow it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to be present and committed every single day to making myself better.
Yeah,
and that's literally.
Man, I don't know.
One of my goals is just keep.
I probably sound like a huge doucher on this podcast, but like I'm a huge believer in the data-supported human performance of yourself, not like anything else out there, right? There's a lot of things I look up to. I'm like, holy shit, that's a really amazing feat that I would love to do. Like, I'm not that person, and I don't have that person's life, so let's just focus on what I'm going to do.
So I think what we need to do is how I share biology reports with you guys. You guys need to start sharing some science and nutritional data with.
Oh, I can
this guy over
share
here.
a lot of stuff with you.
I could dive into
You're going to go on.
Look at him, not me.
Oh,
You're going to go on the macro calculators. The first thing you're going to do,
yep.
and put in all your data.
I think I'm ordering a Whoop tonight
and it'll
too.
spit out what you need. I'm a huge believer
Because
in the Whoop.
I like my Garmin watch, but I don't think it
doesn't do quite as much.
Yeah.
And it's not as intuitive.
It doesn't really track my sleep very well either.
This one, there's literally nothing to it. You put it on and you go. Like,
I noticed
there's no buttons.
yours looks really tight.
It's supposed to be fairly
Supposed to be
tight. It's supposed to be like put a finger underneath.
Oh.
That's how it's supposed to be.
You got a new band for Christmas.
I did.
Cool.
Proud of
I
you.
did.
Any final thoughts, resolutions, 2023?
Oh, I know what I'm committing to.
Yeah.
But I did it 6 weeks ago.
Okay.
150 minutes a week of high zone 3 or higher steady state cardio.
Cool.
That's what I committed to that when I started carnivore. So maybe we'll keep that one too.
Keep it.
150 minutes a week of high zone 3 or higher steady state cardio.
Anything else for 2023 you guys want to touch on before we wrap up?
Man.
You excited about the year?
I'm excited. Like
Yeah.
I said, we've talked to the other podcast. I love app season.
Yeah, you too.
It's the time of year where I assess what I did last year, what I think I could do more of, more research.
What you failed and want to accomplish.
Yeah,
I
like,
love that outlook.
You know, like you said, read more books. Like I have a lot of books I read all the time. Like always mule deer books, biology books. I want to dive into more of those. Maybe make some more notes. Maybe just learn. Maybe broaden my horizons a little bit. Maybe chase some new species again. Like I don't know, just be a more well-rounded hunter, I think.
Cool. Right on. Well, that's a wrap. It's fun to have Porter on.
It was fun to have Porter on. He wasn't as animated as I thought he would be about this stuff. He was pretty docile. I think he was pretty reserved. We didn't have a lot of chances to razz on him because
he was nervous about his meeting.
He was pretty reserved.
Yeah.
Usually we can get him going off a podcast.
He planned to have a meeting, and
this 30 days bullshit though. Like that is not enough.
Yeah.
This is not hard enough. Right
on. We'll use the. Did you touch on promo?
Nope,
promo
didn't touch on promo.
Just real quick, promo code podcast 50. Sign up for GoHunt Insider account. Get yourself 50 points, which is $50 back to the GoHunt Gear Shop. You can get some new gear. You get some training gear. You get some new ultra running shoes.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
So you can get you some Mountain Op supplements. You can get some pre-workout. Get you started. So use that promo code podcast 50. Sign up for an Insider account. $50 to GoHunt Gear Shop.
Promo code podcast
50.
Podcast.
No.
Podcast.
Damn it!
Just podcast.
Just podcast.
If I screwed that all up.
Yeah, we threw the number on there before when we had that the 100-point promo.
Oh, gotcha. Promo code podcast. Good for 50.
Podcast 50.
And that'll also get you. Promo code podcast will also get you 20 points back if you sign up for Explorer too.
Gotcha.
But right now it's research season, so might as well just get Insider, get everything, get maps.
Maps is a commodity. Maps is a commodity.
Man. Just get the whole platform.
It's one thing that you can get a lot of different places.
I don't know how many people I've talked to that signed up for an Explorer membership and use the maps, and then they have a bunch of follow-up questions on draw odds and harvest statistics and all that stuff. Just this is a shameless plug because I work here, but just go pay the.
Well, the data supports it. We have a wildly higher percentage of people that are upgrading from Explorer to Insider than we thought, because it opens your eyes to like, okay, now what's this? What's that? What's that?
Yep.
Okay, well, this product, now you don't have to sit on the phone with us for 9 hours.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You can,
Yep. So use the promo code podcast.
Podcast.
50 points.
New year, new you.
That's a wrap.
I started that a while ago.
All right. See you boys.
See you guys.